Alrighty guys, how's it going? Today with the Gold Coast versus Adelaide Crows. Big game for both teams. Both teams are in pretty good form at the moment. Gold Coast last week won against the Bulldogs up in TIO Stadium up in Darwin. And, hang on a sec. Shut that door. And the Crows obviously won well against last week as well. So we'll see how this one goes today. I've tipped, who have I tipped? That'd be a good question to have actually looked at before I started the stream. How you doing, Osho? Here early tonight. How you doing? In the other game, Geelong versus Bulldogs is going on at the moment. I'll try and keep the scores updated throughout the evening as well. Who did I tip? Hang on, I'm just checking who I tipped. I think I tipped the Crows, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I tipped the Gold Coast. I really am unsure. Yeah, I tipped the Crows, that's fair enough. Yeah, so right now the Crows are 7th on the ladder with 6 wins and 5 losses. And the Gold Coast Suns are 5 and 6 at the moment. So, big game for both teams. If the Gold Coast can win, they keep in touch with the top 8. The Crows win, they can actually keep in touch with a little bit of the top 4. And with a pretty good run towards the end of the season, they're a big chance. Good fun, just watch the Pies. Yeah, West Coast are actually doing alright for a bit there, but Collingwood just outclassed them like was always going to happen, really. How you doing, Swans, man? Not too bad. I'm not doing too bad, man. Oh, God. Please don't let Kelly Underwood be commentating tonight. Fucking hell. You guys are in for a treat because you don't have to listen to Kelly Underwood if you listen to me. I'm such a bastard. God, she's not that bad. Bullshit. Currently in the other game, by the way, guys, Bulldogs lead 6-0 against the Cats. Only 6 minutes into the first quarter. At the moment, Aaron Norton is the one goal kicker in the game so far. That's pretty much all we have to talk about that game so far. Games today, Collingwood won well against West Coast after a pretty decent third quarter from the West Coast Eagles. That was really all the fight they showed. And Port Adelaide thrashed Hawthorn. Caught back a little bit in the second half, but I think we all knew that the Power kind of put the cue on the rack. Let's just say. So big game for both teams tonight. Gold Coast keep in touch with the 8 if they win. If the Crows win, they actually keep a lot closer to the top 4. If they want a pretty good run towards the end of the season with the fixture. Umpire's ready to bounce the ball. And Saturday night football begins up in Darwin. Rao comes through, played brilliant last week, gets the tap out, he gets the handball out to Witz, who gets the kick off the ground, does pretty well. Lukosius keeps it in front of him, does nicely. Nice little handball for Fiorini to get it out wide to Anderson. He just can't control it. Michaelani gets back for the Crows, off to Laird. Now the Crows can work it through. Smith missed last week to Millerer. And now Keys kicks it down the wing. It's not the best kick. Gets out the back. Lukosius picks it up. On the opposite foot. Does nicely. Good kick inside. Finds Swallow. So Swallow just in the middle of the ground. Good kick. Finds Berry. Well, it could be 50. Nothing doing there against Rankin. Playing against his forward side tonight. So Berry drives it back inside the forward 50. 2-on-1 with King. Did well to cause the contest. Scholl on the ground. Gets it out to Duday. Now Michaelani There's a couple of options. Goes to Miller. The Crows are going to run it. That's a good play, but Rochelle just fumbled a little bit there. Back to Michaelani, so the Crows cool, calm in that situation, and Scholl kicks it down the wing. Almost pushed in the back there was Collins, but he read it nicely and kept going. Collins kicks it inside the forward 50, and a brilliant kick. Finds Holman, and Holman goes in short, and a good find finds Casbolt inside the forward 50. So the Gold Coast have a chance to kick the first goal of the game. That was a brilliant kick from Sam Collins going inside there. Jeez, I thought he was going to mess it up. A lasering right foot kick from him. Not really known for inside 50 kicks, Sam Collins, but a good option there. And Holman played brilliant last week against the Bulldogs. So big chance if the Gold Coast to start good early. Casbolt obviously had his kicking woes in his past of his career, but now he kicks truly. Great start for the Gold Coast Suns. They're on the board. Great finish. Great work from the Suns early. So the Coaches obviously last week kicked the 5 goals against the Bulldogs with a combined 20 metres of distance that he had to kick them from. But he was very good, and Casbolt went with him there, did well. Didn't have much of an impact last week, Levi Casbolt, but gets the first goal of the game. It was a brilliant kick off the boot too. So back in the middle now. Witts knocks it down. Keys gets the handball out. Almost a throw, but not paid. Laird out to Dawson. Drives it inside forward 50 for the first time for the Crows. Out the back, well done, Powell. But well done, Keys to get the ball. Gives it off to Rankin. Rankin taps it to no one in particular. Gold Coast try to clean it up through Powell. He snacks it away. Then Long does the same. Smacks it a good 20 metres. Laird picks it up nicely. Back to Dawson. The Crows can reset. Hinge. Good smother there from Matt Rao. Knocks it out of bounds. Brilliant game from Matt Rao last week. Career best, in my opinion, from what I've seen from him. And a good defensive smother there. Obviously learning from Captain Took Miller. Being that defensive midfield, or that two-way running midfielder. Probably the best in the comp. In the ruck, this will go run out of bounds once again. Bailey Humphrey looks like he's playing in the middle tonight again. He was brilliant last week. He kicked a brilliant goal late in that one. O'Brien knocks it down. Coming through there was Dawson. Then Laird comes through nicely. Scholl gets the head down. Gets tackled by 2 Suns. It'll be another ball up. So a couple of early stoppages in this one. O'Brien gets the tap forward. Coming through nicely. There was Anderson. A little basketball bounce there. Then kicks around the body down towards the wing. Comes off Michaelani's knee, I believe. And it'll be a ball in. Gold Coast started off pretty well up in the NT. Want to make this their second home. Obviously, a lot of good products coming out of the Northern Territory. In the ruck, both ruckmen can't get to it. O'Brien on the ground gets out the handball, but it is turned over now. Swallow drives it forward. Coming towards it was Lukosius, left it behind. Well done there from Holman, put the head over the football. But the tackle was just as good. Michaelani holds him in. He could be in trouble here. And he is! How is that holding the ball? That's a shocking decision. That's a shit decision. Holman picked it up, got tackled immediately, and then got taken to ground. That's a shocking decision. So now Michaelani kicks it long down the wing. Up goes Rochelle. Probably just overran it. Coming through now nicely there was Brodie Smith. Kicked it forward. Didn't really read it there. I think it was Fogarty. And now Ballard kicks it down the wing. It's a good kick in the end. Holman just couldn't get to it. Dawson runs past us nicely. Kicks out wide. Good option. Finds Brodie Smith. Now the Crows want to go. Immediately handballs out to Laird. He goes inside the forward 50. Walker's the hope. Collins just dropped the mark at the crucial stage. Coming through nicely there. And McPherson got pushed in the back. He'll get a free kick. Oh, he got a pin for it. Jeez, they're rough on the bloody holding the balls at the moment. Jesus. I mean, if they're going to be consistent, but... Oh, that was a bit of a tough goal. So a chance here for the Crows to get there first. Fogarty, usually a straight goal kicker. Barely misses a goal. A chance to get his 100th goal of his career here, Darcy Fogarty. About a 45-degree angle. 40 metres out. Comes in on goal, Fogarty. Leaves it out to the right. And it's fisted through for a point. So kicking duties go to Powell. Very underrated defence the Gold Coast have. He goes long down the wing. Up goes King. Can't bring it down. Rochelle taps it down to Pedler. He breaks past one. Then drops the ball. And he gets the free kick. So play on the Gold Coast. McPherson gets the football. Drives it long down the wing to a one-on-one. Great body there from Casbolt. Just threw his opponent out of it. Duday's actually down here. Meanwhile, with the game, though, Humphrey and Miller run at the football. Humphrey keeps it in front. Tries to break the tackle. Gets out the handball. Ill-directed. Laird picks it up nicely at the hinge. Usually a pretty good kick. And finds... Oh, it just dropped the head there, Saligo. Got the handball away. Had time. Now Murray puts it on the boot. Goes long with the kick. Good body there from Fogarty. Coming through nicely. Breaks the tackle. Now Fogarty's got some options inside the forward 50. And a great kick. Finds Rochelle. He goes around the body quickly, going to the forward pocket. Long gets back. Walker can't take the mark. Play on's the call. And well done there from Ben Long to get back. Taylor Walker looked almost like he was a certainty to mark that ball. And Long just sprinted to get back. And he couldn't take the mark there, Walker. So Duday just off the ground at the moment. May have twisted his knee there. That could be serious. He has had an ACL injury in his past. Back in the ruck. O'Brien takes it out of the ruck. Kicks towards goal. Oh, if you don't mind, Riley O'Brien kicks the goal for the Crows. Takes it out of the ruck. Kicks the goal. And a great start for the Adelaide Crows there in the stoppage. A little bit unlucky there, Wits. He just didn't read it. Not unlucky, he just wasn't really aware of the bounce. O'Brien was right on it. Just took it straight out of the ruck and kicked the goal very nicely. Don't really see that very often from Riley O'Brien. Usually Taylor Walker actually takes the forward 50 stoppages, but Riley O'Brien shows his prowess in the forward stoppages now. So one touch, one goal for Riley O'Brien. Gets them in front. So back in the middle. Witts knocks it down. Coming through there was Davies. Got beaten by Sloan. Sloan kicks it forward. Towards the top of the 50. Gets past Murphy. Long off to McPherson. Didn't really look. Just jammed it on the boot. Towards the wing. Coming through there was Holman. Just left it behind. Then Scholl gets it. Gives it back to Sloan. Nice kick. And he finds Smith. Goes inside. Great kick in the end to find Scholl. And now Dawson breaks 50. A chance here to kick the Crows second. Jordan Dawson. Great finish. Great goal from Jordan Dawson. Broke 50. Rao just didn't have the speed to go with him. And it was a great start. Great finish there from Jordan Dawson. Travis first. Appreciate it, Mark. Great kick from Dawson. Well, probably one of the best kicks in the comp. So the Crows get two quick ones. Witts knocks it down, coming through Davies. Can't pick it up, playing a little bit of midfield time at the moment. O'Brien gets the handball out to Scholl, ill-directed though. Going through is Miller. Gets tackled well there from Humphrey, but somehow breaks the tackle. Really well done there from Miller. Drives it towards 50. Up goes Fogarty to knock it down. Murphy lets it go. Gets held without it too. Probably get a free kick for that one. He does. So Lockie Murphy gets the free kick here for Adelaide. So Duday's just doing some run-throughs at the moment, so it may not be too serious. So now Murphy drives it long towards the top of the goal square. Phil Thorpe's up there, can't bring it down. Long, gets kicked, is taken off his kick. Collins in there, but Fogarty went in harder. Rankin And Davies fighting for the football inside the Crows forward 50. Still going in there. Fogarty gets the ball to boot. Play onto the call. Ballard drops the ball. Eventually Davies gets the kick away, but it's ill-directed, and that's gone straight on the full. So it'll just be outside the forward 50 here for the Crows. It'll be Mitch Hinge who takes the free kick. So Hinge, pretty long kick for him. Too far out, so he just sets it up towards the top of the goal square. Went on there from Davies. Cut in and took the mark. So Alex Davies is right at the back. Just 30 metres out from the defensive goal. Goes across the goal face. Finds Collins. So he just goes in short. He finds Ballard. Probably an all-Australian form, Charlie Ballard. He's been brilliant this year for the Suns. Doesn't have too many options to go to, though, so they're just going to have to go long down the wing. On the outer side, one-on-one, Lukosius. Oh, he probably should have marked that in the end. Kept it in play, then ducked ahead, and Murray just pushes him out of bounds. So McHenry's actually getting warmed up at the moment, so there may actually be a little bit more to this to do day. So back in the ruck again. Both ruckmen miss it. Gets out the back to Murphy. He gets there. Then gets hit hard and high. There from Holman. For free kick will go to Lockie Murphy. He's down. Is he alright? He gets up pretty slowly there, Lockie Murphy. Shrugged a little bit of a high one there, Murphy, but he's definitely a high one. Goes long with the kick. Gets spoiled down. Fiorini gets it back to Farah. He kicks it across his body. Ill-directed, though. Coming through is Miller. Just dropped it at the crucial stage. Humphrey breaks the tackle. The handball wasn't so good. Coming through Laird. Great hands. Gives it off to Miller. The Crows can work it through. Keys gets the ball smothered. Goes up in the area. Chance for both Crows players. Chase Jones brings it down somehow. Fiorini didn't have any sort of want to get that ball up in the air. He was just happy to stand there. Chase Jones jumped over the top of him, takes a great mark. So Chase Jones from 50 metres out drives it towards the top of the goal square. Up goes Walker, gets tapped down to Fogarty, and a great goal for the Crows. The Gold Coast would have hated that. Stuart Dew would have hated that. A tap down inside the goal square, and Fogarty finds himself all free. Easy as you like goal. He's got his first. Way too easy there for Adelaide. Currently in the other game, Bulldogs lead 15-13 midway through the first quarter. Just got way too easy there, the Adelaide Crows. And the Gold Coast, after having a pretty decent start, they've been beaten in the past 5-10 minutes here from the Crows. That's his 100th goal though for Darcy Fogarty in his career. So we are back in the middle. Still 11 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Gold Coast can't just let this game get out of hand early. Casbolt knocks it down, coming through as Anderson. Gets out the handball to Casbolt, who just puts it on the left boot inside the forward 50. Out the back is Berry. Just got touched. Roses picks it up. Kicks towards goal here. Matt Roses. And it goes through for a behind. Good work there from the Suns, but just couldn't get it online there, Roses. Against Melbourne earlier in the year, had a brilliant game, career best, 4 goals, Malcolm Roses. They're still looking at Duday right now, so they're still a little bit unsure if he should come back on the ground. Brodie Smith take the kick in, goes long, a great kick in the end, finds Thilthorpe on the lead. So Thilthorpe goes in short, he finds Keys in the middle of the ground. He's got on the run on his left, it's Brodie Smith, he goes through a bit of a run. As a sidestep and kicks it long inside the forward 50. Up goes Dawson. Probably should have marked it in the end, but McPherson gets out the handball. Almost falls to ground. There was Jeffrey. Does well here, Rao. Great pickup. Great smother there from Pedler, though. Turns around. Rolls it along the ground. This be a goal here from Luke Pedler. You bet it is. Great finish from Luke Pedler. The defensive pressure inside the forward 50. And then the finish. Perfect from the Adelaide Crows. Yeah, it doesn't hit the post whatsoever. I don't know what the umpire's thinking. Too easy there from the Adelaide Crows. They've got 4 in a row. Bit unlucky there for Matt Rowley. Thought he was away, but then Pedler just come across him. Easy smother, then an easy... Well, not an easy goal. Very good finish, though. It's nowhere near the goalpost. What are we looking at here? Yeah, thank you for the obvious call that should have been made fucking a minute ago. Christ. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Oh, jeez. Why did that take so long? That was obviously missed the post. Christ. So back in the ruck now. Stuart Dew looking a little bit concerned on the bench at the moment. Umpire thumps it down. O'Brien wins it down, coming through as Anderson. Just left it behind, though. Keys gets out the handball. Really no one in particular. Oh, that's a high one on Pedler. Get the free kick. Gets over immediately. Tough player. Immediately plays on. Goes long inside the forward 50. Walker and Collins in a one-on-one. Walker read it well. Takes the mark. Collins went for the bump. Walker went for the ball. And a great mark here to give the Crows a 4-goal lead early in this one and give them a good little break. So the Crows, to get the perfect start in this one, Walker to have a shot, about a 30-degree angle. He comes in, kicks towards goal, Taylor Walker. That's straight through the middle. Great start for the Adelaide Crows. They've got 5 in a row. So back in the middle again. Witts taps it out the back. Coming through there was Swallow and Rao. Neither of them grab it, but Swallow gets the free kick. Gold Coast take the... No, they don't. They have to play on. So we'll come back to Rao. They're still looking at Tom Duday. He's still squinting with his right knee at the moment. Meanwhile, Rao kicks it inside the forward 50. Up goes Casbolt. Can't bring it down. O'Brien tries to just kick it off the ground. Davies gives out a handball. Ill-directed, though. Well done there from Holman for the pressure. Berry just dropped that. They'll be gone. Well done there from Dawson. Gets the holding the ball decision. Already got a goal tonight. So Dawson has the ball at half-back. Looks like he's just going to go long with the kick down the wing. Phil Thorpe in a one-on-one. Great mark overhead. Brilliant from Phil Thorpe. Plays on. Kicks it inside the forward 50. The kick's not that good. And a good cut-off mark there from Sam Collins. So he goes in short, Fiorini. Makes him work for it, but he does take the mark there, Fiorini. Just moving it too slow at the moment, the Suns. They're really not getting the run into the game that they need. He goes long to a pack of players, but a great mark from Witts in front. He immediately goes inside the forward 50. Once again, the kick's poor to the advantage of Bartz. He can't pick it up, though. Miller out the back to Hinge, who fumbles. Just happy to leave it run out of bounds. Hinge really needed to grab that one there and kick it away. Just fumbled it. Crows have been really good in the pressure rating so far, though. Witz wins it down. Rao coming through. Got tackled well there from Keys. Then dragged it back in. He's going to be in trouble here, Matt Rao. Yeah, no, he gets lucky. That's a ball up. Matt Rao trying to get his boot on. Only just got it in time. O'Brien knocks it down straight to Laird, who just boots it away. High ball. Powell nearly marked it. Gets out to back to Collins. He drives it back inside the forward 50. Coming through was Murray. Left it behind. So did Holman. Coming through. Great tackle there from Berry. It'll be a ball up. Player is being told to go off here to Matt Rao with the blood rule. That's not what they want, but he's always sticking his head in the hole, Matt Rao. O'Brien knocks it out the back, straight to Keys. He just puts it on the boot outside the forward defensive 50. Power cuts it off. So the Gold Coast locking inside their forward 50 really for the first time tonight. They have to convert here. He goes long to the pocket. Free kick's been pulled out. And he'll get 50 here, Will Powell. And he gets into Isaac Rankin. Showing a little bit of feeling here, the Gold Coast Suns. So Isaac Rankin's given away the 50-metre penalty. He's not impressed, but it was there. He moved on the mark. And now almost a certain goal here for Will Powell. It will go right into the goal square. Will it? No, it's just outside the goal square. Just getting the ball back. Isaac Rankin's ripped the shirt of Will Powell, but a chance here for the Suns to get their second. Doesn't kick many goals, Will Powell. Obviously playing in the back line for the Suns. But he's been brilliant this year, Will Powell. One of the most underrated players in the comp, in my opinion. So a chance here to kick his 14th goal of his career, Will Powell. 20 out, not much angle to speak of. He hooks it! Oh, he's missed. Kicked it like a true defender, Will Powell. That was a terrible kick. That's a really bad kick from Will Powell. I know he's a defender, but you got to kick that. So Brodie Smith plays on now to defensive goal square. Goes long with the kick. Pedler just drops the mark. Coming through is Anderson. Get off the handball to Roses. Good little smart play to handball it to himself. He runs forward, but then falls over. Scholl misses the tackle. Roses still going somehow. Over the top, there was Anderson. Still fighting for the football. So is Humphrey. He'll finally get the free kick, the Suns. Humphrey's grabbing his head here. He doesn't look the best. In fact, he looks a bit in trouble. He gets up pretty slowly, but he's alright. Kicks it inside the forward 50 here, Humphrey. Back goes O'Brien, can't get there. Fumbles the ball there, Smith. Still got players diving for the football here. Murray gets it taken away from him. Ainsworth out to Witz. Witz gets it on the boot! And he just misses. Suns have locked it in the past few minutes, though, which is good to see. So Brodie Smith take the kick in here for the Crows. So the Suns locking it inside their forward half at the moment. Last 10 minutes they've had 73% of the forward half possession. He goes long here, Brodie Smith. In front there was Thilthorpe, but Collins comes through, fists it 40 metres forward. Only goes as far as Jones, who kicks it back down towards the wing here for the Crows. Dawson, will he get there in time? Davies, real strong over that one, knocks Dawson over. Great tackle from Pedler on Davies. Does get the handball away, though, at the back. Powell throws the handball almost, but then spiked forward there from Dawson. Rochelle keeps it in for a moment, but eventually rolls it out. So Neville Henry puts the shirt back on. So then McHenry comes back on the bench with the shirt on, so he may be coming on in a second. Witz takes it out of the ruck, handballs nicely to Anderson. Anderson breaks past one and kicks it long. Towards their forward end, it rolls and it gets to Casbolt, but eventually Murray runs it out. Still 5.5 minutes in this first quarter. Crows have kicked the last 5 goals of the game. The Gold Coast have had it down their end the past 10 minutes. So back in the ruck once again. Witts tries to tap it forward. Davies can't get their ball out. Scholl can't gather it either. Davies on the ground nicely. Gives out the handball to Humphrey, who pumps it forward. Comes off the player, then hits Ainsworth. He gets taken down well by Jones. It'll be another ball up. Inside the forward 50 of the Suns. About 40 metres out. Riley O'Brien knocks it out the back. Humphrey leaves it behind. Then coming through there was Murphy, tackled. Atkins against the old side, gets out the handball to Jeffrey. Great little sidestep. Wheels around the right boot and drives it inside the forward 50. Out the back is Holman. If he gets there, they're home here. Holman, he couldn't get the ball, the boot to ball. Is it gone all the way? You bet it has. Great finish from Joel Jeffrey. And the Suns get a real surprising one there. That was a brilliant goal from Joel Jeffrey. I thought Holman was going to get his boot to the ball there, but he left it for his teammate to get a goal there, Joel Jeffrey. He was a revelation last year as a forward, but he's played defence this year for the Suns, and he's played really well. He's keeping Jai Farah out of the team for a lot of this season. He is in tonight, but that just rolled all the way home with no touch from any Crows defender. Great goal from the Suns. So just under 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Joel Jeffrey with a great goal there for the Suns. They did really deserve it, but Ned McHenry is about to come on for the Crows, so Duday has been subbed out with that knee injury. So the Gold Coast sub tonight is Bodie Euland. But back in the ruck. Witts uncontested. Umpire will call that one back. So the umpire throws it up this time. Witts knocks it down. Laird leaves it behind. He trickles forward there off the foot of Swallow. Keys just fumbled it back, and here goes Anderson. Gets off the handball to Humphrey. Kicks it inside the forward 50. It goes up high. Roses can't get to the ball. Butts should get there first. Roses puts on a lot of pressure, but Chase Jones was clean. Gets out the handball to Laird. Gives a quick handball, but then gets pressured out of it, and it's out of bounds. So it looks like Rao's going to Laird a lot of it tonight, so that's a good matchup, those two. And it looks like Key's going with Noah Anderson most of the time tonight at the moment. The last 10 inside 50s, 9 of them have been full Gold Coast. Back in the ruck. Knocks it down there, Witts. Rao almost slung to ground. Eventually gets out to Leto, gets out the handball. Sloan wanted it more than Atkins. He just sockers it forward. Coming through in a one-on-one here was Powell. Just bumps Saligo off the ball. Goes back for it. Humphrey was nice. Well done there from Saligo with the pressure. Murphy gives it off to Walker. Good smother on the kick. Collins, fresh area on that one. Saligo tackled. He should be pinned. Play on to the call. Gold Coast go. Farah over the top to Lukosius. Immediately puts it on the boot. Sends it good 60 metres to a 1-on-2. One on there from Casbolt with the pressure. Roses taps it to himself. Plays for the free. Play on. Miller gives it back to McElhaney. He's gone. Well done there from Ben King. That's holding the footy. Been a bit quiet, Ben King, so far. I don't think he's even touched it. But that was a great tackle into the defensive 50. McElhaney just couldn't shake the King tackle, and he's gone. He was going with the check side kick here, Ben King. It's a hard kick in the right forward pocket. Comes in, Ben King. Oh, he kicks it beautifully. Oh, he just missed. Okay, I'm an idiot. Whatever. I thought he kicked it. So Miller takes the kick in here. Long and almost on his own here, Fogarty. Gets a bounce, gets there eventually. Good tackle from Farah. Does have the hands free to get it out to Laird. Laird kicks it long to a 1-on-2. Walker causes the contest. Coming through nicely there was Sloan. Hit it forward. Can he get there, Rochelle? Great work there from McPherson to get onto it. Rao always sticks his head over it and gets tackled well from Rochelle. That was great work there from the Gold Coast just to cover the loose player at the time. Just so the Crows couldn't get through. So, ruck contest, about 30 out from goal here for the Crows. O'Brien knocks it down. Coming through there was McPherson. Gets tackled well there from Murphy. Another ball up. But Duday's got the ice on the knee straight away. So, they took him a while to decide if they were taking him off. But he has been taken off now. Rouse bursting through, couldn't get the hands on the ball. Sloan picks it up one hand and then drops it. Fights for the ball. Murphy comes through, drops the ball. Should have been pinned for it. Well done there from Farah. Feigns the handball. Eventually does give it off to Jeffrey. Gets tackled well there from Murphy and he's taken out of bounds. So O'Brien thumps it forward from the stoppage, pushes Swallow a little bit in the back, and they're happy to take another stoppage here, the Crows. O'Brien knocks it down to Keys. He dribbles it towards goal, Ben Keys, and he's nailed it! That's 2 stoppage goals from the Crows in the forward 50. And that was another simple one. Good goal from Ben Keys. It looks like the players are a little bit of fire in this one. Walker and Anderson are bumping around at the moment. This was pretty poor, though, from the Suns. Too easy here for Keys. Just push right back into the stoppage. And then easy as you like goal for the Crows. So just over 2 minutes to go in this first term. Crows lead it by 21 points. Bounce down. O'Brien taps it out the back. Immediately puts it on the boot though and kicks it forward towards the wing a little bit. Pedlo gets tackled well from Jeffrey. Almost held too long. Laird picks up the football. Drives it forward to a leading Phil Thorpe. Can't mark it. Out the back is Fogarty. Drives to the head. Gets out the handball. Out to Murphy. On the left boot. Snaps towards goal. And it'll be marked. And the defensive goal square there from Charlie Ballard. He's telling his players just to calm it down a little bit here. They don't want to take another risk and risk another goal being kicked on them here. Ballard kicks it long on the outer wing. He's got wits. He can't get there. Got the hands to it. Just couldn't bring it down. Murray gathers it. Gives it back to Scholl. And he goes even further back to Jones. And he drives it forward. Long kick. Farah gets the fist on it and fists it out of bounds. So inside the forward 50 here for the Crows. Walker taking the ruck roll. Couldn't bring it with him. Rao just puts it on the boot, but it's turned over. And Rory Laird takes the mark inside the forward 50. Doesn't kick that many goals, Rory Laird. Been one of the best midfielders in the comp. Had a quieter start. Had a brilliant year last year. But already had 11 touches so far in this one, Rory Laird. So Rory Laird here, a chance to kick his first goal. Give the Crows a really good buffer going into quarter time. Comes out to the right a little. Rory Laird kicks towards goal. He kicked it exactly where he aimed it, and he kicked it on the full. So Farah runs out a defensive 50 and kicks it long to a huge pack of players. Up goes in front, Casbolt. Great mark. So Casbolt takes the mark on the wing. Looks like they're just going to take this slowly, the Suns. They don't want to concede another. So Casbolt just drives it long towards their forward 50, but it's a terrible kick. O'Brien just couldn't mark it there. Coming through with Swallow. Gives it off to Keys. Doesn't really look. Kicks it long. One-on-one was Glacocious. On the ground is Berry. Good tackle from Chase Jones. Doesn't bring him down, though. Roses breaks past Saligo. Then Holman drops it and he's gone. Well done from Michaelani to get back there. Pin him holding the ball. Just before quarter time. Time's going to run out for both the teams here. So at quarter time, Crows lead it by 21 points. So the scores are 2-4-16 to the Gold Coast Suns. Down by 21 points for the Crows, 6-1-37. Alright, I'll just bring up the statistics now. Toyota. Alright. So, guys, at quarter time, the best ball winners on the ground. Rory Ledley's all comes with the 12 touches. He's been brilliant so far. Brodie Smith with 8 touches. Miller with 7, along with Keys, Humphrey, and I've added a 6th player accidentally there, which is Fogarty with the 6 touches. And then for the AFL Fantasy Watchers out there, we have Witts with 36, Keys with 31, along with Fogarty. 29 to Laird and Dawson, and then Brodie Smith running at the top 6 with the AFL Fantasy for 28. Currently in the other game right now, into the second quarter. 2-point lead to the Bulldogs. 5-5-35 lead. 5-3-33 to Geelong. Oh, my neck. Fuck. Across the Spider-Verse. Who knows what? Who cares, really? Yeah, the Suns did not start that quarter off very well there. Osho, they need to steady with a couple of. They needed a goal there, but they had a couple of chances in that late in that first quarter, but they just couldn't capitalize on it. I hate that advert. Whatever the fuck that was. Stuart Chu currently talking to his players. He looks pretty animated. Not giving them, not roasting them, but just giving them a point that they had to hit a lot harder because the Crows dominated that first quarter. Second quarter is about to begin now. Crows have definitely started the better of the two teams. Gold Coast kicked the first, and then the Crows kicked the next 5 to give themselves a good buffer, and currently lead by 21 going into the second quarter. Umbrellas ready to thump it down once again. Witts knocks it out the back. Coming through is Davies. Been good early. Tries to break the tackle of Rochelle. Has time, but then drops it. He's gone. Well done there from Rochelle. Good to keep on the pressure. So Rochelle will take the kick inside the forward 50 now. Goes long to a huge pack of players. Walker out the back. Good spoil from Collins. Spoils it towards the boundary line. Ainsworth keeps it in. May have been dangerous. Long gives it back to Ainsworth, who just handles it forward. McPherson keeps it in here, Rankin. He kicks it back inside the forward 50, but the umpire... Oh no, it's a free kick against Isaac Rankin for a push in the back. So long kick here from Darcy McPherson. Long to a 2-on-1. Up went Dawson. Couldn't bring it down. Davies got the hands free. Then got tackled and dropped it. He's been pinned again, Alex Davies. So free kick will go to Ben Keys. Keys had an option on the right. Decided not to give it. Still has that option. Doesn't want to give it though. So Keys just drives it back inside. Long kick to a 2-on-2. Walker went up. Couldn't bring it with him. Power. Tackled well there from Rochelle. And it'll be a ball up. So inside the forward 50 of the Adelaide Crows. Witts couldn't win the ruck. Coming through there was O'Brien. Witts wins it on the ground though, only as far as Laird. He ambles it straight to O'Brien. Good work there from the Crows. Keys snaps towards goal. Good mark on the line there from Collins. So that could have been another one there from the Crows. Lucky they had a sweeper at the back there, the Gold Coast. Collins goes along with the kick, but it's cut off straight away from Scholl. So Scholl, about 55 out from goal, drives it inside. Walker couldn't take the mark. On the ground is Roses. Handles it back to Atkins. He puts it on the boot. Doesn't look low. Turns it straight back over. Dawson takes the mark. He's about 55 out. My stream just went to shit. Comes back though. Dawson goes long with the kick towards goal. God, he got the distance. Just missed. Gold Coast just can't get out of there at the moment. Good work there from the Crows. Powell takes the kick in. Long to a 1-on-1. Casbolt almost took the mark in the end. But oh no, they paid it. So Casbolt gets the ball. I don't know about that. He plays on. Kicks down the wing with a shocker. Misread that one Lacocious. And a mark will be taken by Hinge. So looks like they're going to switch the play. The Crows. Millerer has an option in short. Finds Laird. That's about a 10-metre kick, but Laird will take it. Got an option inside. It's McHenry. Obviously came on as a sub late in the first quarter. So just working at small, short little kicks here, the Crows. Miller back to Dawson. That's not 15, so he plays on. He goes over the top. Nice kick. He finds Lockie Scholl. He's still got Dawson on his left. Decides not to give it. Gold Coast got a man up at the moment. They're just working through the zone really easily, the Crows. Scholl goes long. Witts misses, just hits the spoil. Goes towards the boundary line. Ainsworth sees it out. Crows have already had 5 inside 50s in the second quarter. The Gold Coast yet to get one in there. So Witts and Walker in the ruck now, just inside the Crows forward 50. Both ruckmen miss it. Goes down to Davies. Just gets the kick away. Didn't want to get pinned a third time. Murphy over the top of the great handball. Keys comes through. Kicks towards goal. But he can't make the distance. Cut off on the line from Ballard. He goes in short. Finds Atkins. Atkins goes across to find McPherson. Now the Suns can go. He goes down the wing. But it's a shocking kick. And it rolls out of bounds. So blood rule's being called here. It's going to be Will Powell at the moment, just bleeding out the nose. That's 2 blood rules already for the Suns. Not that it really matters, but anyway, streaming out of his nose at the moment, so they'll have to patch that up pretty quick. Oh, he got the ball kicked into his face there, Will Powell. That's where he's got the blood coming from. Oh shit. Knocks it down there. Witts coming through. Davies just left it behind. Knocks it forward here. Keys goes to Murphy. Good work there from the Crows. Murphy, usually a pretty good ball user, goes long into the pocket. Rankin can't get there. Ballard kicks it out of the defensive 50. A long kick. No one really gets a hand onto it. Hits the ground to Davies, who clears it. Marked well there from Riley O'Brien. He goes immediately to Miller. Puts himself in trouble a bit there, but the Miller kick is pretty nice. Finds Michael Annie, plays on. Rochelle gets dragged down from Ben King. Great work from Ben King. The Suns go immediately. Jeffrey has some time. Goes long down the wing. Up goes Casbolt. Good spoil from behind there from Murray. Game's gone up a notch a little bit here. Scholl over the top to Murray. Good handball. He finds Scholl and he kicks him inside the forward 50. Up goes Collins. Left it behind though. Rankin in the pocket. Kick one against the old side. He just misses. McPherson goes long. Rao just dropped a crucial mark there. So he goes back to Ainsworth. Immediately puts it on the boot. Goes long down the wing. It's not the best kick. But Butts just hits it out of bounds. Currently the Gold Coast are yet to have an inside 50 in this second term. The Crows have already had 8. They've only kicked 2 behinds from it though. So they haven't shown it on the scoreboard. Crows have had sometimes this year have had some problems being able to get their momentum on the scoreboard. O'Brien knocks it down. Coming through there was Fiorini. Got tackled immediately by 2 Crows. Dragged down. Another stoppage. West taps it down. Davies almost got taken without it. Anderson puts it on the boot. Really not one to no one in particular. Goes to Jones. He drives it forward. Great work there from Phil Thorpe. Gets in front. The kick to Walker all on his own inside the forward 50 was pretty simple. And a chance here for Walker to give the Crows a really comfortable 29-point lead. Currently in the other game, the Bulldogs lead by 3 points over the Cats, 48-45. The Crows are all over the Suns at the moment. So Walker's already kicked 1 tonight. Chance here to kick his second, give the Crows a good lead. He comes in, kicks towards goal, Taylor Walker. Goes towards the right goalpost, but fades back nicely, and he kicks another here for the Adelaide Crows. Great finish. They're just all over them at the moment. The Crows are dominating. The Suns just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment. Can't get it forward. They're just in all sorts at the moment. Out of the ruck there, Witts and Anderson drives it long. They finally get inside their forward 50. Hinge fists it away, coming through with Keys in front. Left the ball behind though. Holman gets it out to Anderson. Anderson just gets it on the boot. They went about 10 metres. Ainsworth takes the ball but wasn't paid a mark. Witts knocks it down. Coming through was Humphrey. Had Pedler riding him. Coming through was Saligo. Gets taken down, but somehow gets their hands free. Did well. Now Pedler tries to get the kick away. It came off his shin. Coming through was Humphrey. Good tackle. Good pressure there from the Suns. Chase Jones has to go back and chase this one down. Gives it back to Hinge. Now Hinge wants to switch the play. Great kick on the left. And now the Crows have a lot of space to work into. Scholl kicks it down about a 40-metre kick to Thilthorpe. Great kick. And he gives it back to Scholl. He keeps running. He goes down the wing. Great kick. Great work here from the Crows. He finds Smith. Turns in. Great option. Finds Walker. And now the Crows can run through here through Miller. Breaks to 50. Chance of Miller to kick the Crows. Another one. Drives it towards home. And a great finish from Wayne Miller. They are on fire right now, the Crows. They take a massive 35-point lead now, the Crows, and this is really looking dangerous here for the Suns. They are not looking like the team that played last week against the Bulldogs. They dominated the Bulldogs last week for big parts of it, but they look 180 compared to what they did last week. Casbolt knocks it down. Coming through his Pedler. Been very good so far. Gives it off to Sloaney. Drives it long. Good option there. Walker just left it behind. Well on there for Fiorini to gather it. Just put it on the boot. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Bad bounce there for Lukosius. Murray leaves it behind though. And now a chance here for the Suns. Smith knocks it out here to Butts. He's got pressure on him on his back. Gets it out somehow. And Jones kicks it out of the defensive 50 long towards the wing on the commentary side. Walker will get there first. Keeps it in front of him. Collins goes to ground, but Walker leaves it behind. Fiorini gathers it, gives it to Collins. He drives it back towards the forward 50. Up goes Holman. Did well to cause a contest. Berry now has the football. Drives it long towards the top of the goal square. One-on-one in Lukosius. Great mark. Great mark from Jack Lukosius. Was brilliant last week. Has been pretty quiet so far. But that's a great mark in a one-on-one. Just taking a deep breath right now. Jack Lukosius trying to get his breath back. Needs to kick this goal here for his side. They had a big opportunity late in the first quarter to get one. They missed it from Will Power. Chance here for Lukosius. Comes around to the right boot. Snaps towards goal. Easy as you like. Jack Lukosius gets to the Suns first in the second quarter. Great work there from Berry, just to drive it to the top of the goal square in a one-on-one. And Lukosius has been really good this year for the Suns. Already had a 5-goal game against the Bulldogs and the Cats earlier on in the year. Only had the 3 touches so far, Lukosius, but he gets the goal and gets his team back in it because they needed that. They've been pretty poor so far, the Suns. Casbolt gets the tap down. Anderson comes through, left it behind though. Now Laird kicks it forward, coming through nicely. There was Rankin. Gives it out to Thilthorpe. He drives it inside the forward 50, but it's ill-directed. Cut off there from Jeffrey. So Jeffrey has the football. Already kicked one tonight. Goes long down the wing. It's a great kick. Good mark from Long. They may have shoved him a little bit higher up the ground. Now Fiorini, coming off half-back, goes long. Up goes King. He'll get a free kick here, Ben King. Looking for an option here inside the forward 50 King. Plays on now. He goes long. Long to a 2-on-1. Up goes Lukosius. Did well to cause a contest. On the ground is Humphrey. He tries to break past. Tries to give it out to Atkins. He'll get it on the bounce here. Rory Atkins from the pocket. Rory Atkins sets it back up on the other side of the pocket, but it's a poor kick. Casbolt pushed his opponent into Chase Jones, and McHenry will get the free kick. Yeah, I remember you, Roblox. How you doing, man? So McHenry will take it from the back pocket. Goes long down towards the wing. 2-on-2 here, Thilthorpe. Walker nearly takes it out on his back. Puts it on the back on the boot here. Fiorini drives it long, but spores it away a good 40 metres. Coming through here, Atkins. If he's clean, he'll get away here. Anderson gives out to Humphrey. Tries to turn it around on the right boot. Just kicks a high ball towards the top of the goal square. Coming out is Lukosius. He's been good in the past few minutes. He's already kicked one a few minutes ago. A chance here for Lukosius to kick 2 in a row for the Suns. Great mark from Jack Lukosius. It was a really hard ball to get onto, but he was the only one who ran himself directly at the football. And it was a great mark. The chance here for Jack Lukosius to kick his second. Kicked 5 last week on this ground. Chance here to kick his second here. Lukosius comes in about 20 metres out. Not much angle to speak of. Lukosius hooks it. Oh, and he's missed. That's a really bad miss. They've missed a couple of easy shots tonight, the Suns. Power missed one from a pretty similar spot, and Lukosius misses one now. Long kick, great option, finds Sloan. Here go the Crows. He plays on, almost runs himself into trouble, but eventually spins out of it. Now he drives it long towards the 50. From the back is Long, almost hooked that mark. Gets onto it, Davies, leaves it behind. Rankin steps out of trouble and then handballs it into Davies' hand. It rolls out of bounds. I think Rankin's just a little bit too busy looking for the contact right now instead of actually looking to try and play some decent football. He's only had 2 touches so far, I think. Casbolt and O'Brien. O'Brien knocks it down. Sloan drives it forward now. Rankin does nicely. A chance here to get on the highlight reel. Isaac Rankin kicks it to the top of the goal square. Walker just couldn't gather it. Rolls out of bounds in the left forward pocket here for the Adelaide Crows. Casbolt can't gather it. Coming through there was Jeffrey. He did nicely to get it out of there. Then kicks it outside the defensive 50. Up goes Dawson. Just couldn't mark it. Jones did nicely out to McHenry. He puts it back on the boot. Long inside. To its 1-on-1 is Thilthorpe. Can't mark it. Well on Ballard. Coming through was Farah. Left it behind. Well on Long to body line it. But now Thilthorpe picks it up. In the pocket is Isaac Rankin. Snaps towards goal. And he's missed. The Gold Coast in the defensive 50 goes long to a pack of players. Up goes O'Brien. Lets it out the back, though. Roses gets there first. Almost tackled without it. Humphrey can't get the hands free. Great tackle from Hinge. And he's going to be pinned for his troubles. That's a shocker. I don't know about that. Humphrey had no chance to get rid of that. But a good tackle, though, from Hinge. you got to give him that. But I don't think it was a free kick. So Hinge will get a free kick on the wing here. Usually a very good ball user. Goes long towards the top of the 50. Almost gets cut off there from Davies, but out the back is Fiorini. Didn't look. Goes long with the kick towards the wing. Goes to the high bounce. Dawson smacks it out the back. Does Roses keep it in? He does. Here go the Suns. Humphrey just left it behind, though. Holman, good pressure on Dawson. Roses eventually gives it off to Holman. Holman gets tackled and dropped it then. Well on there for McHenry with the pressure. Tries to duck out. Left it behind. Anderson just kicks it forward. Doesn't really have a direction. Just gets on the bounce. Millerer. Breaks past Berry, breaks past Casbolt, breaks past Berry once again. Well on there from Millerer. Now, they're just working around the defence. That's poor there from the Crows. Lukosius tries to kick it to himself. Don't know about that. Millerer picks it up. Good tackle, though, from Lukosius. And for all that effort, the Suns have it at half forward. O'Brien takes the tap down to himself. Back to McHenry, and now Sloan has the football. Gets tackled as he kicked it. He kicked it on the full. Better pressure here from the Suns. So Davies will take the free kick. So Davies here, he's outside forward 50. Decides to kick it long, high towards the top of the goal square. Up goes Lukosius from 3 deep. Couldn't bring it down. Sloan just happy to see it out of bounds with McHenry. So the umpire throws it inside the forward pocket here for the Suns. Witts knocks it down. Anderson was clean on the ground. Does nicely. Gets a boot on the ball. Only went about 5 metres for Swallow. Got pushed in the back. Play onto the call. Fiorini sets it up the top of the goal square. Saligo wasn't clean. Atkins did well. Off to Holman. Doesn't mind a goal. Nick Holman sets it up though. Gets spoiled away and on the out of bounds once again in that same right forward pocket here, the Suns. So after the Crows had the first 8 inside 50s of the quarter, they've kind of levelled it up now. It's only 7-14. So O'Brien in front, knocks it down. Coming through as Humphrey, did nicely, but tackled well from Michaelani. Left it behind though. Bailey Humphrey kicks it across goal. Casbolt can't read it on the ground, picks it up though. Gives off the handball to Holman in the pocket. Holman dribbles it inside. Atkins left it behind, then tackled without it, Atkins. And he'll get the free kick. Atkins plays on, goes in short, back to Anderson. Just a better angle, a little bit further out here, Noah Anderson. But a big chance here for one of their big leaders to get another one in here for the Gold Coast. So Noah Anderson, about 30 metres out. Bit of about a 40-45 degree angle here. He's been good so far in this one. Been one of the few who's got them back in this game. Noah Anderson comes in, kicks towards goal. Great kick from Noah Anderson. Gets 2 in a row here for the Suns. Great finish from Noah Anderson. Great option there from Rory Laird. He could have gone for goal there, but he knew that Noah Anderson's a pretty good set shot at goal, and he finished comfortably there. So the umpire back in the middle, taking him a while to bounce this ball. He's taken a long time. Eventually does bounce it down. Witts knocks it out the back to Anderson. He drives it long towards the forward 50. 2-on-2 here. Up goes Berry. Can't take it down with him. Laird tackled by 2 Suns. It'll be a ball up.
Dawson thrown out of it in that congestion. Oh, that was dangerous. No, it wasn't. The umpire let it roll. Davies, he rolls it off the boot. Gets it toward Humphrey, who's normally good. Oh, he's great. He's not just good. He's a superstar, this kid. The bear delivers.
What about the low flying, Jared? You think he's going to go to ground and he's about 2 inches off. The acceleration and strength in his legs. What's the way he just drives his legs out of this contest and keeps his feet? That's incredible skill.
That was brilliant, yep. I think we've got ourselves a young star in the making. And he's in some red-hot form this last month. Good on you, young fella. You've lit the game up. And it needed it for the Suns to get back into it.
So Bailey Humphrey, a 4-year extension. He said he was sitting around having lunch with his teammates this week and he thought, yep, I want to belong here.
Great goal there from Bailey Humphrey there. Back to 17 points the difference. The Suns are back in this game. O'Brien knocks it down. Coming through was Laird. Couldn't bring it with him. Well done there from Dawson. Gets worried out of it there, Swallow. So he gets it back here, Dawson from Laird. Now Keys drives it along towards the forward 50. Rankin gets the spoil forward. Shelley, great work on his defender. But Powell's gone down here. He's immediately gone down with a knee injury, it looks like, Will Powell. And he's not impressed. I think he's okay, though. So Farah took a mark in the defensive 50. He goes short to Collins. He goes to Jeffrey. Just on the turn there, it was Will Powell. I think he's okay, though. I think it was actually more of a hip than anything. I think it was just a jarring, just of how he had to turn his speed with the wet deck. But nonetheless, the Gold Coast get it forward now towards their wing. Berry goes up, good ball from behind from Jones. Now Roses and Berry. Good work here from Tom Berry. Gets the ball forward here for the Suns. Goes to a one-on-one. Lukosius and Hinge. Well on there from Hinge. Got the front spot, knocked it out of bounds. Just over 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. Crows up by 17 points. Suns have got the last 3 goals. Knocks it down there, Witts. Anderson just can't gather it. Dawson soccers it forward. Coming through was Fiorini. Was tough over it, but then tackled well from Thilthorpe. Dragged down, will be another ball up. So on the centre wing now, outer side. O'Brien thumps it forward. Laird comes back onto it, can't bring it with him though. Scholl gets out of hand with no one in particular. Great fist there from Davies, and now Fiorini drives it forward. One-on-one there was Humphrey. Couldn't bring it in front. Roses, usually a pretty good user in front of goal, but he's missed it out to the left-hand side and completely kicked it on the full. Suns have really came into this game in the past 10 minutes. For the first quarter and a half of this one, they've been very poor. But they've just came into this one, and they've brought themselves right back into the game. Only 17 points down at the moment. Long kick, Powell can't mark it. Ainsworth on the ground, just dropped it. Hard ball there from McHenry, and he gets a free kick for it. So McHenry at half-back. Goes to kick it wide, then breaks past his opponent on the mark. Goes down the wing. Fisted away from Swallow there by his own teammate. Working hard there was Long. Great tackle on the wing. So it'll be a ball up. It looked like it was out. The umpire was waiting for it. But eventually the boundary umpire called for it. In the ruck, Witts knocks it through. O'Brien gathers it. On the ground, though, players just trying to soccer it off the ground, trying to get some meterage. Atkins happy to see it out of bounds. Three minutes to go in the second term. Still in this one. They're still in this game. The Suns have been very good in the past 10 minutes. Finally shown up in this first half. Witts knocks it forward out the back, though, is Murphy. Kicks it inside the forward 50 here for the Crows in a one-on-one. Collins almost dragged off of it. Powell comes through, gets almost a high one, and he does in fact. So will Powell get the free kick here? So Powell's at the free kick in the defensive pocket. Goes long down the wing. He keeps on doing that on the game on KO. Murray just fists it from behind. Saligo keeps it in front of him, but Holman decides to keep it in for a moment, but eventually knocked out. So umpire throws it in again, just outside the 450 for the Crows. O'Brien knocks it down to Saligo, left it behind. Davies just thumps it forward. Coming under the legs there of Anderson, he'll get the free kick. Anderson plays on immediately. That was smart on the mark of Jones. He goes long, but the kick's not very good. Murray easily hits that over the boundary line. So forward half of the wing here for the Gold Coast Suns. 2 minutes to go. Witts knocks it forward. Coming through there was Dawson. Been a bit quiet in his second term. Handballs it inside. Murphy. They've got some free men outside here, the Crows. So here they go. O'Brien to Keys. Got an option over the top. Just missed Pedler there. That was a poor kick there from Keys. Powell gathers it. Almost got a high one there, Powell. And he does, in fact, get a free kick. Chance here for the Suns late to get another one back. Long kick to Witts. It does get out to the back, but a chance here for Holman to gather it. Gets out the handball to Davies, who kicks it long to a 2-on-1 here. It's Casbolt. He goes up for it. Well done there from Jones to cause a contest. Now Jones on the ground, fights hard. Saligo gathers it, kicks it down the wing. It's a good kick, but Walker fumbles. So just over a minute to go in this second term. Gold Coast kicked the last 3 goals of this one after the Crows started off massively in this game. The fight back from the Suns, Osho calls it in the chat. Witts knocks it down. Anderson leaves it behind. Now Atkins gets tackled well from Sloan. Just dropped that there, Atkins. Got lucky not to get a free kick paid against him. Atkins working hard for it. Happy to see it out of bounds. Back in the ruck, O'Brien wins it down. Rao coming through, left it behind. Now Witts, no player can really pick it up off the ground except for Sloan. Gives it out to Dawson, looking for a handball option. Eventually found Saligo at the back. He drives it long to a 2-on-1 here, Fogarty. Great mark from Ballard. Great mark. Such an underrated player, Charlie Ballard. And that's a great mark in the defensive 50. So he goes back and kicks it long down the wing. Up goes Dawson. Witts from behind spoils it down. Atkins eventually gets the kick away. Gets it touched off O'Brien, but trickles out the back to Scholl. He gives out the handball to Butts, and he just puts it on the boot. Really high ball. Up goes Murray. Can't bring it down. Sloan bumped off the ball there from Davies. Anderson gets the kick away. Wants Casbolt to go chase it. He did pretty well, Casbolt, and then runs it out of bounds. So 16 seconds to go in this second term. Gold Coast right back into this one. So maybe one more chance here for the Crows late. Gold Coast maybe as well. Coming through with Sloan. Gives it off to Smith. Just couldn't gather it. Got the ball to his knee. Now a chance here for King to kick it long. Dawson gets back. Does nicely. Murray. Kick gets it on the boot. It gets smothered though. Chance here for the Suns. Not really. Holman handballs it in front of him. Siren's about to sound. And there it is. Oh, King's not happy. He's thrown a couple of elbows. But he's a bit frustrated. Hasn't had too much opportunities tonight. He's only kicked 1 goal. But at half-time, the Crows will take a 17-point lead. Scores are 8-4, 52 to the Crows. Lead the Suns 5-5, 35. Wrong one. Image. 18. Just going to get the stats up now, guys. Alright, so here are all the statistics, guys. So, there we are. Alright, at half-time, leading disposal getter on the ground is Rory Laird. A bit quiet in that second term, though. Only had the 5 touches. Ben Keys with the 15, along with Noah Anderson. 13 to Brodie Smith, and then Wayne Miller with the 12, rounding out the top 5. And for the AFL fantasy watchers out there, we have Ben Keys leading all comers with the 63, Anderson with the 55, Dawson with the 50, Witts with the 49, and Rory Laird with the 48, rounding out the top 5. Yeah, that's the halftime scores, guys, so we'll be back in the second half. G'day guys, and welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast. Now we're up to episode 13, just completed round 10, and a lot of upsets happened throughout this weekend. We saw Geelong get beaten down in Geelong by the Giants, especially Harry Mackay, because one, they'd have to pay out his whole salary, well not whole, but I'm sure they'd have to work out having to pay a huge amount of his contract off for Carlton. And two, yes, he is a former Coleman medalist, but we've seen now his bad form is terrible.
But and also, a Coleman medalist kicking less than 60 goals, it could be a whole other conversation, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
For a Coleman medalist, less than 60 goals is not great.
Yeah.
And he just looks so out of confidence. Like, was it 13 minutes to go on that game? He had an easy chest mark and it just pops out. It's like
that was shocking.
That was just the pinnacle of the bad form that he is in.
Yeah. But next up, we get to probably the biggest upset of the round, I believe, is St Kilda versus Hawthorn. And the reason why I say this is probably the biggest upset of the round was because Hawthorn were down in this game by about 20-odd points, 25 points with, in the last quarter.
15 minutes left.
15 minutes left against a team that's coached by Ross Lyon, and they were able to just find easy goals late in this game. Yeah. Hawthorn were big, led by probably one of the biggest games of the season. Zach Butters, we saw last week, was brilliant. This week, obviously a different sort of role, but James Sicily was massive.
Yeah.
He had 40-plus touches, 20-plus, I think, marks as well. Had a bunch of intercept possessions.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
And for a team that I thought probably 3 weeks into the season were going to finish bottom by a lot, looked like they've actually found a little bit of form. They've won their last 2 games in a row. I don't think it's going to go much further than that. They got Port Adelaide this week, and James Sicily is suspended.
And he is suspended, which was... It was kind of a stupid act what he did, but it was not. It was something that you'd see coming from James Sicily, that he would get suspended again. It was never going to be the good kid again. Good kid.
But he was massive in this game. Probably one of the best games I've seen from a player this season. I probably would give Zach Butters, but again, they're both playing a very different game, so it's hard to kind of separate them. Yeah. But obviously in this game, 3 votes went to James Sicily. 2 votes went to John Newcombe. He was big in the last quarter, and he's been pretty good this season in the midfield, when they've been performing quite well in there. And the 1 vote I gave to Dylan Moore. Hawthorn were massive in this game. It's embarrassing for St Kilda to lose 1 to a team like Hawthorn. I know that may be a little bit harsh to say, but they shouldn't be losing a game against Hawthorn if they want to be pushing finals. And it's just embarrassing that they had such a good lead and they just sat still and let Hawthorn get back into it.
Well, don't you think it's really funny that Max King comes back from injury? In the last 2 weeks, he's kicked 4 goals in both games, and it seems like he come back. Everyone else is like, "It's all right, Max King, you do it."
Yeah.
It just seems like it's up to him now.
It's almost like Sydney of a couple of years ago when they were just buddy conscious.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're Max King conscious.
Yeah, it is.
And when for example, Buddy was out, Sydney looked a lot more dangerous up forward. And I'm not saying that St Kilda need to drop Max King by any means, because he is a very good forward, but he is obviously being very focused on. Yeah. And maybe because Tim Membry's also out at the moment, so maybe Caminiti isn't taking that, big role. And I think both of them are key forwards. Like Tim Membry's a little bit different. He was able to go up the ground. Both of them, Caminiti and King, have to play deep forward. So maybe that's just a thing that St Kilda are going to have to work out on, but last year they started off really well, fell away really quickly. It looks like they could be going in that same trend again. If St Kilda do that again to their fans, I think that's terrible. And it just shows they haven't grown anything from last year.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
After that, we get to Melbourne versus Fremantle. This was a pretty big upset as well. Fremantle were down at halftime. They did this last year in the exact same round.
And they did pretty much the exact same thing.
They came back and they won this game, and Melbourne have lost 2 in a row. Now, you've, for the majority of this year, have said that Melbourne are the favourites to win the premiership.
Yeah, I've lost that.
I've lost it?
Yeah, I've lost it. It's. I was going to say Brisbane, but I think that's gone as well. We'll get to that when we get to that game. But I think at the moment you can't go past Collingwood.
Yeah,
I really can't. You can't really. I could say Port, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I think it's Collingwood at the moment. Yeah.
But one thing that happened here is Fremantle in a month have turned from one of the most disappointing clubs in the competition to one of the most They've just done a
teams.
180.
Yeah,
they've just done a full 180.
yeah.
They've just done a 180 and have just turned their form around. They've beaten the 2 grand finalists from last year and then beaten one of the premiership favourites.
Yeah, they just... I don't know
where they pulled this out from, but it's just... I mean, since the game against the Bulldogs, they've just pulled out some really good football.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell has happened down at Fremantle, but they're in the 8. Somehow they're in the 8.
So, I mean, Fremantle are going to... I mean, if they keep on going, they're probably pushing finals at this rate, because there's a couple of teams kind of log-jammed in that 7 to 11, 12 at the moment. One player who I did mention in my post on Instagram is Luke Jackson. He played brilliantly in this game from start to finish. He was playing really well in this game before Sean Darcy went down. And against your former side, I guess a lot of people would have the thought of playing a little bit, maybe enclosed of themselves, too much in their head. But he was brilliant in this game. And probably one of the big things that from this game, while we mentioned Sean Darcy before, is that he is a ruckman, Luke Jackson. He is not a key. He's not a forward. He can play midfield, but I think that he's a ruckman, and he can be that. He can be that Nick Nat Nui type.
Which I don't get you clearance.
Yeah, he can get you clearance. He's good on the ground as well. So he did get my 3 votes in this game. He was absolutely brilliant in this one. Andrew Brayshaw, I gave the 2 votes. He was very good as well for Fremantle, probably their best midfielder, and he's just definitely came into his season like Fremantle have, I guess. Yeah. Kind of fitting. And the 1 vote I did give to Christian Petrarca. He was brilliant for Melbourne in this game, and arguably in the second half of this game probably kept them close enough. But I do think Clayton Oliver will be out against Carlton. That won't make a difference. But he does look like he'll be back for Queen's birthday.
They're saying that he will be back, so it will
think
be
that's
interesting.
big for them.
And I think it's going to be interesting because it was shown a bit that it was a bit exposed, Melbourne's midfield, when he was out.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that they didn't boo Jackson?
They did a bit early.
They did a bit early, but near the end they did. Yeah.
I think they realised that, oh shit, he's playing good footy. And I mean, let's be honest, he won him a Premier. He did.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on the telecast. That it's a bit different. That like to Horn Francis, they did win the Premiership. He did win the Premiership for him
he
as
wasn't
well.
leaving a sinking ship.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got to a Geelong versus GWS. Now, this would have been a upset of the round, but GWS have a pretty good form down there. Another one 3 in a row down at GMHBA Stadium, which is unheard of.
Yeah, no one would have called that. They probably could have, but yeah.
The Giants have came into their own. Toby Green in his 200th game was massive.
Yeah.
He eventually got the 3 votes in the end. I'll go to the other votes in a minute, but he was insane. Jake Riccardi as well for GWS has been in and out of this team. He came onto the scene quite well. I think he kicked 4 goals in his debut, but since then he's been in and out of the team. With Harry Himmelberg out, as well as Nick Haynes, they had to bring in an extra tall. He came in, he played forward, and he played really well. He played good duo with Jesse Hogan. Brent Daniels was very good in this game as well.
Yeah, he did play really well.
Yeah. Lockie Whitfield stood up as well. This was just a very good game from the Giants, and I think it definitely proves that Adam Kingsley was the right man.
Yeah, he is. It seems.
Yeah. So but one thing as well, where's Geelong? Where are they?
Yeah,
are they a finals team? Are they a premiership team? Are they a finals team?
Yeah, it's hard to say. And their run before their next 3 games is not good. They've got, I think, the Bulldogs, Port Adelaide, in between the bye. So
I know that the second half of the season isn't going to be that easy for them. But I think they would have Brisbane as well in there and Melbourne. I don't think they'll play Melbourne yet.
But the thing for them is they do play. I know they lost there against the Giants, but they do play down to GMHBA. I think 7 or 8 of the last 10 games down there. Or something like something
going to
insane.
be hard to beat them down.
So it's going to be interesting. I don't know what they're doing with DeConing. And their ruck stocks.
Well, they rushed him back and played him with a face mask when I think he would have been having issues.
Yeah.
And 2, they were playing him forward.
I don't get it. They won the premiership with him down back as probably one of the best.
Maybe they
backmen.
just for that first week didn't want to bring him back as a facial fracture.
Yeah, but they did it a couple of weeks before he did his injury. They were playing him in the ruck and.
Yeah, I don't know what Chris Scott's doing.
He seems to be throwing around the magnets for no reason. And, I don't know why it seems like a concern, but Paddy Dangerfield looks like a big concern when he's not in the team.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be at this stage of his career where he has to be in the team for them to win.
And
maybe it is because, Joel Selwood was such a big leader for them last year that maybe they just don't have that big experience in the midfield when Dangerfield's not there. Maybe that's the thing. Because obviously, throughout their, last 5-10 years, they've had someone in the midfield who, is a leader. Like, obviously Joel Selwood, but I think Dangerfield has been there. You've even got Cam Guthrie, if you're looking at that. They're all out. They're obviously not to an extent of injuries as some other clubs, but maybe that is getting to them now. Honestly, at this stage, I can't remember the last time 2 grand final teams have not made finals, but at this stage, Sydney are getting a couple of wins on the board, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to make finals. They're going to have a pretty tough run, but the Cats are out of the 8 at the moment, and they've got a pretty tough run. You think about teams with them, the Crows, they don't lose many games at Adelaide Oval this year.
Yeah. Essendon
have got an easy run. They've got North Melbourne 2 times, and they've got West Coast another time in the rest of the season. They're going to struggle to get there.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting how this second half of the season does go. I don't know, maybe the bye will help them. They'll get back together and they'll fight the second half of the season. And you can never count out the Cats. I think we've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen that. We even saw it at the start of last year. There was a period. It wasn't this late. It was about round 8 or 9. They were going win loss.
Yeah,
and they just crushed the rest of the season and obviously went on to win the premiership.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't count out Geelong just yet. I'm not saying they can't make finals. And I don't even I think they could probably still make top 4 if they can get on a big run. But at this rate, they are definitely a chance of missing the finals if they continue to play like this. But next up, we get to a massive game, which we talked about a little bit earlier, which was Gold Coast versus the Western Bulldogs. This was a big game for both clubs, I believe. Western Bulldogs have been in good form, but they've beaten very lesser teams. And they came up against the Gold Coast Suns, who you would call a lesser team, but the Gold Coast seem to have hit a bit of form with their midfielders, led by a player who finally came on, Matt Rao.
Yeah, and it showed in that game, really.
He was massive.
And I think, in hindsight, losing Took Miller has showed that they can get
kind of exposed them to a work ethic that they need to get to.
And it's shown that, like, with the extra midfielder that they've had to get into the midfield every now and then because they need 3, obviously.
Well, one person that they've chucked in there is Bailey Humphrey.
Yeah, and it's shown he's bloody good, isn't he? He's good. He's got, I think, 20 disposals in his last 3 games or something.
Oh, he's been very good. He's been led by Matt Rao and Noah Anderson, who's kind of taken a step back. Noah Anderson hasn't been as that dominant midfielder, but he hasn't had to be because Matt Rao's stood up, which is really good to see. Bailey Humphreys came in and he's playing a really good role for them. And it just begs the question: if they didn't have such a poor start to the season, where would they be now?
Yeah,
could they have been in the 8 at the moment?
Yeah,
because Toot Miller, look, if he was, I don't know when he's coming back. I think it's probably a month or so away, so it's definitely after the bye. If he comes back and they're in a chance to make finals, I think they are a sneaky chance to make it. But there is just so many teams log jammed in that middle.
Yeah.
They've got Sydney, Essendon, Adelaide, Geelong. There's just so many teams logged in that area. I'm not going to add Carlton because I don't think they're a chance.
No,
I think they're gone now.
They're done. But like I said at the start of the season, all they needed to do was fix up their defence, and I think they've done that.
Yeah.
But I think their midfield has been let down early in the season that it might cost them in the end.
Yeah, and they had a very poor start. They started with the Swans and they had a shocking start for the first month. They even got their first win against Geelong of all teams in round 5, I believe. Was it round 4? No, round 4, I think it was. In round 4.
3 or 4, I think it was,
because then they won the next week. So, the Gold Coast, I would love to see them make finals. I think every single AFL supporter would want to see the Gold Coast make the finals, but I think they may have left their run a little bit too late. Their percentage, they never had a high percentage.
No.
They've never been able to flog teams. So I think they're going to probably miss again, which is very disheartening. And it could actually see the end of Stuart Dew's tenure there, which I think is a little bit harsh. But on the other hand, I mean, they've been waiting so long. It's like you can't wait forever. They need to be making finals, this team, if they want to be successful.
Yeah.
But anyway, nonetheless, they played massively in this game, led by Matt Rao. He got the 3 votes. And it's pretty harsh to who got the 2 votes of Jack Lukosius because he got 5 goals in this game. But Matt Rao was just so good. He deserved the 3 votes in this one.
Lukosius got 4 goals from 5 kicks in the second quarter, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got his 5 goals from about a combined 25 metres out.
Yeah, they were all pretty But
I mean, he's got to be in the position to be there.
I guess so.
He's been pretty good this year, Jack Lukosius. They finally found a spot for him. He got the 2 votes. 1 vote I did give to Jamari Ugelhagen. He would have been a lot higher if he kicked straight. but he was very good from this game for the Bulldogs. And in addition to his player who stood up really well, he was definitely the highlight for the Bulldogs. I don't think they had many people go with them. Bontempelli was pretty good in the first half, but other than that, the only player I saw for the Bulldogs who showed a lot of effort in this game was Jamara.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they were so close, and I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but the fucking umpires kept them in this game. The amount of goals they got from free kicks, the Bulldogs, and I think anyone who's not a Bulldogs fan would agree with me. They got fucking helped in this game if you watched it. They were so... The Gold Coast should have won this game very well, and they played very good football. It was, other than the first quarter where the Gold Coast were a little bit on and off, I think this game should have been a 4 or 5 goal win to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
After that, we get to West Coast versus Essendon. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. 1, because I didn't see much of it, and 2, who cares? They won by 50 points, Essendon.
Pretty much all I can say is that Essendon should have won by more. They won every quarter, but they should have won by more.
Yeah. Nonetheless, they won by 50 points. They did what they had to do. They had to win, and that's what they did. They don't have a very good record in Perth. In fact, I think it was their second highest win ever in Perth.
It was their highest ever win in Perth.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
50 points isn't much of a win when you think about it. Like, it's the highest. But, they did their job. They won the game. They come back, and now they have a pretty good run for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Sitting just outside the 8. I gave 3 votes to Mason Redmond. He's been a little bit up and down the last few weeks, but other than that, he's had a really good year.
I think if they're going to charge for finals, he has to get into the best of form that he had most of last year.
Yeah, and the start of this year. He's been a little bit on and off the last few weeks, but he was brilliant. Martin, I gave the 2 votes. He was very good.
He was pretty good, wasn't he? Yeah.
And the 1 vote, and one of the most underrated players in the competition that I always mention when I see him play is Kyle Langford.
Yeah,
He's literally everyone. He's the everything man. He can go back, he can play midfield, he can play forward. He's even played second ruck at times.
Yeah.
He's just an everything, and I just think he's so underrated,
Yeah.
Kyle Langford. If I was obviously being a Swan supporter, if I had one player to get, he'd be up there with one of the choices because he's such a team man. He's always giving effort. I've never seen a game where I'm like, I haven't seen Kyle Langford yet.
Yeah.
He's always getting involved. And I'm not saying he's never going to win a Brownlow. He's never going to win a Coleman.
And he's probably going to win a best and fairest. But he's going to be there.
He's always going to play a role.
He's going to be in your best 22 every week.
Yeah. After that, we get to Richmond versus Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
This was a grind for Port. And I think it was a game they had to win.
The first 10 minutes when Richmond looked pretty good, you didn't see Zach Butters in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. And then after that, you just saw him get back into the game. He got get some few touches, and he just... he
was big in the last quarter.
he was big in the game. Lockie Jones was unlucky, I thought, because he started on Dustin Martin.
Yeah, he played really well.
He kicked, I think, 1 goal for Dusty, but he changed the matchup at half time to get and chucked Burton back onto him. And in the third quarter, if Dustin Martin kicked straight, Richmond could have actually done something.
Yeah,
but it was just a whole bunch of... The whole game was just about both teams not taking their chances.
I think one point as well is Richmond were always going to stand up in this game.
Yeah,
they were always going to... It was always going to be a grind if Port were going to win, but they did hold on. They held strong. But one player who's been a little bit... Alright guys, so we're back with the second half. About to start. Got the other game up, so just have to change it back. Oops, second half has started now. Sapella gets the ball now, tackled well there from the Suns, and the umpire pins him. Good decision from the umpire. So free kick will go to Darcy McPherson on the wing here for the Suns. So McPherson has the ball here. Back defensive side of the wing, goes long to half forward. Up goes King. A good mark from Dawson in front. Goes inside here, Miller. Breaks one tackle, but then got legged. There'll be a free kick here to Miller. So just goes inside here, Miller. Finds Barkalani. Oh, Christ. Looks like they're going to switch it to the Crows. He goes out wide. He finds Murray. So now Murray kicks it down the wing to a 2-on-1. Hinge goes up. Spoils it forward, so he did well, and then it goes out of bounds. So back in the ruck, O'Brien wins it down, coming through as Dawson. Only goes to Atkins, though, and he puts it on the boot. Kicks it forward a good 30 metres. Coming through as Casbolt. Couldn't win it, though. What on there from Brody Smith. Now handballs it forward. There was Hinge, but now the Suns win it. But then the turnover's caused here from Saligo. Breaks past 2, but then gets taken down. Free kick for the Suns. They play on, though. Roses off to Anderson. Has a couple of options inside the forward 50. The kick wasn't too good. Had to make Lukosius run for it. He snaps it back towards the top of the goal square. Good spoil away there from Butts. Lands in Anderson's hands. He puts it up high, Anderson. I think it's home. Noah Anderson gets a goal. First goal of the second half here for the Suns. What a great start. What a player this guy is, Noah Anderson. A goal-kicking midfielder. Pretty rare nowadays, but that's a great finish. Great work from Noah Anderson. And the Crows just looking very under pressure at the moment. The Suns look good. They didn't start this game off very nicely, but now they've started to kick their goals. Fucking Christ, sorry. So back in the ruck. O'Brien wins it down. Rao gathers it. Again gets tackled from Dawson. Left it behind. Lucky to get away with it. And then the umpire does pay it eventually. So Dawson gets the free kick for holding the ball in the middle. Plays on now. It's a free kick for a reversal here for the Suns back in the middle of the ground. So now Rao will take the free kick in the middle of the ground. He goes in short. He finds Berry. So now Berry drives it long inside the 450 for the Suns. Up goes King! Great mark from the big man. He's been quiet tonight, Ben King. He's only kicked the one goal. Hasn't had too many opportunities. Was a bit frustrated at half-time pushing into the Crows players. But a great clunk. Big chance here for Ben King to get the Suns back to within 5 points early in the third quarter. Ben King comes in, kicks towards goal, dead straight. The Suns get another. Big goal for the Suns, and the Crows under all sorts at the moment. Currently in the other game, the Bulldogs lead 70-65 against the Cats. Game's been goal for a lot of it. It's been very close games for the majority of the game as well. So chance here now, the Gold Coast get it forward once again. One-on-one was King, couldn't bring it down. Roses gets ridden by Marcolani, and it'll be a ball up. Thump down there was... Oh, he's being taken high there, Matt Rao. He'll get a free kick here. And this is a huge chance to give the Gold Coast the lead. From absolutely nowhere. Midway through the second quarter, the Crows were dominating. The Suns since then have really just dominated this game of footy. And a chance here for the player who played so well last week, Matt Rao, who's been a bit quiet tonight, a chance to give the Suns the lead. One of their young leaders, Matt Rao, really coming into his own this season. A chance here, we'll kick it on 50. Matt Rao comes in. Goal umpire does not move. Matt Rao kicks the goal, and the Suns are in front for the first time tonight. Can you believe it? The Suns have come from nowhere. The Suns are red hot at the moment. As this happened, O'Brien knocked it down. Dawson just came in way too hot on Matt Rao. Easy high free kick. And then Rao went back, kicked the goal. Not much you can argue there from Dawson. He just ran straight in. Head over the ball, Matt Rao. What a finish as well. These goal-kicking midfielders of the Suns are going to be massive this season. If they want to push finals, midfield goal kickers are absolutely worth their weight in gold. And they've capitalised tonight. 4 of their past 5 goals that came from their midfielders in Humphrey, Anderson, and Rao. But a chance now to keep on going here, the Suns. Crows got a lift. Back in the ruck. Witts wins it down. Keys comes through, leaves it behind. Swallow gets at the handball, but it was smothered there from Laird. Pedler comes through and soccers it forward a good 40 metres. McPherson does the same, kicks it back the other direction. Goes about 30 metres, head over the ball. There was Fiorini. Did well. Humphrey on the ground, gives it out to Jeffrey. He drives it long to a one-on-one. Great work there from Davies to keep it in front. Here go the Suns. Ainsworth snaps it towards the top of the goal square. Out the back, Lukosius has a chance here in the pocket. Picks it up. Lukosius come back on his right foot. A chance here for the Suns. Oh, what a finish from Jack Lukosius. They are red hot. The Suns are just out of nowhere. This is the team that could make their first ever final series. They have been brilliant in the past quarter and a bit, the Suns. Yeah, they've been so good. This is the game that they played last week against the Bulldogs. They have been brilliant. They may want to play up in the Northern Territory every week, the Suns. Matt Nix has gone straight down to the bench here, trying to talk to his players. They need a lift at the moment, the Crows. They've been absolutely dominated. Back in the ruck. Witts knocks it forward. Keys comes through. Rao chases him down. Free kick looks like it's coming to Rory Sloane. So Sloane gets the free kick in the middle of the ground. Plays on. Kicks it forward for really our first opportunity. The Crows. Up goes Walker. Can't bring it with him. Phil Thorpe leaves it behind. Now Jeffrey kicks an absolute thumping ball out of defensive 50. It comes to King, good contest. That was poor from Brodie Smith. Didn't tackle Ainsworth, which let him get away. Fiorini to Rao. He drives it towards the 50. 2-on-1 Lukosius. Caused the contest. That was good. Now Hinge eventually gets off the handball. That was calm, cool, and collected. The kick wasn't so good there. I think it was Brodie Smith. And it trickles out of bounds. So true centre wing right now. Commentary side. Gold Coast lead it by 7. Witts wins it down. Rao couldn't gather it. Comes through was Pedler. Went on there from Witts to knock it forward. Rao off the ground. Now Pedler coming through was real clean. That was good. The kick wasn't so good. Goes towards the boundary line. Great mark there from McPherson. Ran full tilt and took the mark on his toes almost. So McPherson has the ball, kicks it long as it came off the side of his boot, does stay in. Great hands from King. Takes the mark about 55 out from goal. He plays on. Goes long towards the top of the goal square. Michaelani gets back, spores it towards the defensive goal square, and eventually runs it through for a rush behind. Eight-point lead at the moment for the Suns. Chase Jones will take the kick in here for the Crows. Plays on. They're going to go on the outer side. Really hasn't been out on this side of the ground for a while. Goes long to a 2-on-2. Jeffrey in front. Great mark. The Suns are locking it in. So he plays on now, Joel Jeffrey. Drives it long inside the forward 50. King in front. One high. He gets it. Ben King gets the free kick. Straight in front, about 35 out. A chance here to give the Suns a 14-point lead. What a massive comeback from the Gold Coast Suns. Taken high there from Jordan Butts. He did well early there, Jordan Butts, but then just put his arm over the shoulder of Ben King and that was always going to be paid. The Ben King a chance here to kick a goal. He's going to kick one. Comes in now, straight as a die. What a great finish from Ben King. And another one for the Suns. They are on fire. 8 in a row. The Suns are on fire. The Crows can't stop them at the moment. It's going to have to take a lift from their midfield. The Rao, Anderson and Humphrey tonight have dominated in the midfield. Well, not tonight. In the past quarter and a bit, they've dominated. Their pressure gauge for the Crows has dropped right off, down to 157%. That is not good enough when the Gold Coast are up at 183, which isn't really that high, but they're just dominating when they get the ball forward. They look like they're going to kick a goal every time. On fire indeed, Osho. I agree. Just want to see an underdog win, or do you like the Gold Coast Suns, Osho? Looks like a 6-6-6 decision could be paid in a second. No, umpire's just taking forever to bounce the ball. Why is it taking so long, bro? Bounce the ball. Jordan Dawson talking to his coach at the moment. They need a lift. Back in the ruck, knocked it forward. There was Kaz Bulb and Rochelle sockers it forward. Anderson tackled well there from Laird. And it'll be another stoppage. Murray's gone in the ruck here for the Crows. Coming through is Humphrey. Tackled without it there, Humphrey. Murphy jumps in there. Fiorini tackles him well. Coming through is Humphrey. Kicks the ball away. Long to a one-on-one. Good effort there from Davies. Berry ran through. Now Ainsworth. The Suns are streaming forward. Long kick towards the top of the goal square. One-on-one Lukosius. Stayed on the ground. Kept his feet. Lukosius. Oh, another goal for the Suns. They are running rampant at TIO Stadium tonight. What is happening? This is insane from the Suns. I've not seen this good a performance from a team in 10 minutes of footy all season. They are insane at the moment. I don't think any team could combat this sort of performance. The Crows are just getting brutalised. Mitch Hinge just fell over then at the crucial stage. Jack Lukosius kept his feet. And the quality of Jack Lukosius outshines the Crows right there. $20-point lead at the moment. Stuart Dew loved it. Their season is still alive for finals, the Gold Coast. They had a pretty poor start to the year. They've been in some very good form lately. Currently lead by 20 points. Winning tonight would be massive for their season. In the ruck coming through there was Humphrey. Couldn't bring it with him. Now Anderson breaks a pretty simple tackle there from... It was Hinge and drives it forward to one-on-one. Ben King goes to ground. Oh, he drops the sitter though, Butts. Play on's the call. Jones just wants to take it out. Saligo can't break the tackle. Great pressure from the Suns. They knock it forward and eventually rolls out of bounds. So there's still 12 minutes to go in this third term. It's only been about, 10 or 15 minutes of actual playing time so far in this quarter. The Suns have dominated. Back in the ruck, coming through here is Ainsworth, breaks past 2. Davies gives it back to Berry, can't gather it. Atkins, against the former side, gives it back to Davies. He's fighting hard, gets it out. Berry puts the head over it. That was good. Hinge gets it out to Michaelani. Handball to Rochelle was a bit ill-directed. Davies dives in, coming through as Michaelani. That was good. Gets still pressure on him. Rochelle just thumps it out of there 20 metres with the fist. Fogarty in a one-on-one. Great work there from Powell to run through. Gives it off to Anderson. He drives it forward. It's going to bounce towards goal. Ainsworth gets there. Great work from Hinge to knock it through for a point. So now Walker has the ball at half on the wing. Feigns the kick right, then pulls back inside. Long kick towards the 50. Phil Thorpe comes in. Almost took the mark. Didn't really take for the third grab. McPherson couldn't get the kick away. Fogarty, in short, finds Rochelle. And to say the Crows need this is an understatement. Rochelle a chance to kick the Crows First goal of the second half, I believe. So, Rochelle a chance here to kick his first. Only had the 7 touches tonight. Hasn't had the bigger impact as he did last week against the Lions. Rochelle comes in. About a 45-50 metre kick. Not much of an angle to speak of. Rochelle comes in. Kicks towards goal. He's got it! Good finish from Josh Rochelle. And the Crows get one back. So Josh Rochelle kicks a big goal there for the Crows. They're back in this one, down by 15 at the moment. The Suns absolutely blitzed them early in this third term, but they get a settler there, the Crows. So back in the middle. Witts and Murray go at it. Witts stocks it forward. Rao was held without it. He'll get the free kick. He plays on though. Good to see from Matt Rao. Drives it long inside the forward 50. Casbolt almost held with the arm. Play on Humphrey. Dragged down. Should be pinned really. No umpire pays a ball up. Witts fists it forward a good 15 metres. Barry picks it up. Was very clean. Snaps towards goal. Just didn't get enough angle on it. Through for a point. Matt Rao really lifting here for the Suns. Future captain of this side. He's been brilliant in this third term. Brodie Smith kicks it out of the defensive 50. Long to a 2-on-1. Ben Long from 3 deep. Thumps it forward. Only as far as Rankin. He just puts it on the boot a good 20 metres. Walker in a 2-on-1. Collins gets out the handball to Powell. Does nicely there, the Gold Coast, to work that out. And now they're away. Long off to McPherson. He drives it long to a 2-on-1 though. Gets out the back. Who gets there first? Humphrey. Just wasn't clean over it. Miller gives it back to Jones. He drives it back on towards the wing. Up goes Jeffrey. Just didn't gather it. Well done there from Rochelle. Turn out of trouble. Keys just handballs it forward. Who's going to get there? Laird. He gets there and kicks it long to a 1-on-1. It's Thilthorpe and Ballard. Thilthorpe can't gather it. Keeps on kicking it forward. Ballard and Thilthorpe. They're still fighting for it. Thilthorpe just got there, but he missed the goal. Ballard thought he had him for a moment, but Thilthorpe just kept on surging the ball forward. And in the end, it was just because he wasn't in front of goal. He couldn't angle his foot towards the goal face. But nonetheless, kick-out duties there to Farah. Goes short to Anderson. Farah gets it back now. And he drives it long towards a 2-on-2. Murray looks like he's gone back now. Handballs it to Laird, who gets immediately tackled. Now the Suns can go. Ainsworth kicks it long. 2-on-3 here. The Crows have the extra number. King gets the ball spoiled away. Miller gathers it. Breaks past Casbolt. Great chase down there from Casbolt. Didn't tackle him, just knocked the ball out. But great pressure from the big guy. 15-point lead for the Gold Coast Suns. They've been brilliant in this third term. Witts wins it down. Rao gets tackled by 2 Crows. He's still going here. Murphy fights hard. Out to Rankin. Now Miller gives it to Scholl. They're working with hands here at the moment, the Crows. Now Dawson has some space on the wing. Takes a bit of a gallop. Goes long towards the 50. 2-on-1. Thilthorpe. Great mark. He wheels around to the right boot. Doesn't have too many options. So he just goes long to the pocket. That's a weird decision from Thilthorpe. And he kicks it on the full. So Ben Long takes the kick. He goes long on the commentary side wing. Up goes Casbolt. Can't win it down. Holman can't win it. Murray did well to Dawson. Now Dawson a high up and under. Jeffrey just spoils it away. Coming through with Roses. Did brilliantly. And then just soccers it forward. That surge footballer's work. That not that time, though. Murray gives it back. And now Dawson has the ball in the middle of the ground. Dawson plays on now. Goes long into the pocket. One-on-one was Rochelle, but a great cut-off mark there from Jeffrey. He's been brilliant in the back half this year for the Gold Coast. So Jeffrey, look like they're going to switch it here. Gives it back to Ballard. They're going to work it across now. Collins, he's got, I think it's Fiorini in a one-on-one here. He gets out the back, does well. Fiorini doesn't have too many options up forward, so he just pulls back a little bit. Fiorini goes in short and he finds Atkins. So Atkins has the ball on the centre wing. Now he drives it long towards the forward 50. Up goes Casbolt. He gets spoiled away there from O'Brien. It gets out to Roses. Trying to get a foot onto it. Fresh airy. And then Berry's happy to see it over the boundary line. Great call so far. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. Am I doing better than Kelly Underwood? That's the question, though. In the ruck, what does well there, Witts. Rao gets tackled immediately. Probably should have been pinned for that. Thumps it forward here, the Gold Coast. Coming through was Murray, held without it. Now it's Chase Jones gets tackled well there from Alex Davies and to be a ball up. About 30 metres out from goal here, the Suns. Crows got the last one, but the Suns have been very good in this term. Always, I appreciate it. I don't know if that's a compliment, though. In the ruck, O'Brien. Now Roses. If he picks it up here, he's a chance. From the pocket, Malcolm Roses just kicks it across the face. So the Gold Coast still had their sub in Bodie Euland. The Crows had to use their sub early, which was Ned McHenry for the injury of Tom Duday. So they will have a little bit of extra run coming into this game late. But now in the forward pocket, the Gold Coast. O'Brien just slaps it towards the boundary line and they'll do it all again. Maybe an injury here for the Adelaide Crows. Doctor's running on. Stuart Dew back on the mic. He's coaching down on the bench for the past few weeks. Witts knocks it down, coming through his Holman. Just left it behind. Keys just soccers it about 20 metres. Long, just couldn't gather it. Keys gets the ball on the boot. Kicks it about 30 metres down the wing. Collins thumps it back. Back inside the forward 50 here. They get the ball here, the Gold Coast. Ben Long gets it on the boot. Bit of a tumble punt towards goal. Goes through for a point. So Brody Smith goes in short. He finds Miller. Just under 6 minutes to go in this third term. Smith has the football and drives it long towards the commentary side wing. One-on-one here is still Thorpe. He's been okay in this third term. Wins it down nicely. Murphy gets out the handball. Fights again, Murphy. He'll get a high one. So plays on here, Murphy on the wing. Oh, and he's kicked it on the full. He's kicked it 3 rows into the stands. Couple of players are wrestling in the back here. It's Alex Davies, Nick Holman, and Rory Laird flying the flag here for the Suns. Roy Atkins will take the free kick, though. Kicks it long towards the forward 50. Up goes O'Brien, wins it down. Rankin gives that the handball to Dawson, and he just thumps it back on the left boot. Back to a big pack. Up goes Jeffrey. Almost took that. Now Phil Thorpe gets taken high there from Jeffrey. He'll get a free kick. He's probably been the one in this third term who's kept them in it, Phil Thorpe. He's looked pretty good in the past 10 minutes. Now he goes inside to Dawson. Dawson's handball was terrible. Straight over Rankin's head, and now Anderson comes back. Kicks it towards the wing here. Wasn't the best option if Miller had just taken it out of bounds. So 5 minutes to go in this third term. Crows are rattled. Good call from the O-Show. Up went Jeffrey there. He just didn't get the knee in the back of Rochelle. If he did, he would have got that extra leap. Maybe he would have been able to take that mark. The forward side of the wing near the Gold Coast. Witts wins it down. Keys and Rao. Keys gets the ball to boot. Saligo drags it in here. It could be in a bit of trouble here. Saligo. No, he gets a free kick for a high one. I think it was against David Swallow. So now Saligo thumps it long towards the forward 50 here. Thilthorpe, one, couldn't bring it down with him. Fogarty just thumps it forward a good 20 metres. Will land in Rochelli's hands. Great tackle from Rao. Brings him to ground. He should be gone here. Dragged it back in. And he's... Wait, who's got the free kick? Matt Rao's got the free kick for holding the ball. Great tackle. I think Rochelli was actually going to get a free kick for a high one, but the umpire called the holding the ball first. So now the Gold Coast with a big switch. Out wide, he finds... Fiorini, that's who it is, sorry. He goes in short, and now they go through Farah. Don't know what he was thinking there. It was a poor play on. Pedler did well to get the ball out to Saligo. And now he drives it long. Towards forward 50 in a one-on-one with Fogarty. Ballard did well. Jeffrey on the ground tapped it to himself. Then a little soccer there from McHenry. Ballard's happy to see it out of bounds. Came off the boot. I think it slid off the ground. And it'll be a ball in. Just outside the forward 50 for the Crows. This game's really came to light in the third term. Both teams in with a real chance. Currently in the other game, the Cats lead by 12 points early in the last quarter. Back in the ruck, Witts knocks it down. Coming through there was McHenry, couldn't gather it. Anderson just dropped it. Well done there from Fiorini to get the ball to boot there. Goes to about 25 metres. Rankin couldn't get his hands to it. Eventually taps it out there to Smith. And now McHenry against Ainsworth. Gets out the handball. Sloan, a little bit rattled there. Eventually got the handball out to Saligo. He drives it back inside the forward 50 into the pocket. Oh, Ballard just missed it. Gets out the back to Farah. Tries to charge for the try line. And he's out of bounds. Gold Coast defense has really stood up in the second and the third term. When the Crows were really firing in this third term, when the Gold Coast have stood up, they've done really well. Anderson from the clearance, bombs it long. Coming through there was Casbolt, couldn't bring it with him. Holman off to Berry, just gets a good 20 metres on the ball. He'll kick it towards the boundary line. This will be deliberate. Oh, it's touched. Okay, it's a throw in. Geez, I hope the Suns win. Will be great for footy. I would like to... I mean, I think every footy fan wants to see the Gold Coast Suns make the finals, like, for the first time. Especially if your own team doesn't make it. Like, if the Swans don't make it this year, I'd probably be barracking for the... I'd be definitely barracking for the Gold Coast to do well. Witz knocks it down. Swallow comes through, leaves it behind. Now Fiorini jams it on the boot. Goes long. Up goes Berry. Couldn't bring it with him. And sock it off the ground. Davies, a good 50 metres. It trickles forward now. Grabs the ball there. It was Lukosius. Going forward still here, the Suns. Lukosius, they're just driving it forward at the moment. Now Roses. Spins out of trouble. Back on his left boot. Kicks it long. 2-on-1 in Lukosius. Almost pushing the back hinge. Happy to see it through for a point. Moves it quickly here, the Crows. Now they want to move. Goes back inside here, Rochelli. They got a chance here, the Crows. Dawson to Sloan. And now Sloan goes long to a one-on-one. It's Thilthorpe and Collins. Thilthorpe just couldn't get his hands to it. Out the back is Keys at Ribblespool's goal. Great work from Matt Rao. What a star he is. Knocked it through for a behind. One of my favourite players at the moment, Matt Rao. He has been brilliant tonight. So Atkins will take the kick in here for the Crows. That almost went through for a... I mean, it wasn't that close, I'll be honest. It looked better live, but Matt Rao did all he could there to thump that through for a point. The long kick there from Atkins is thumped out of bounds there from Murray. Just over 2 minutes to go on this third term. Rao is awesome. You want him on your side, wouldn't you? Matt Rao's one of those players you'd want in your team. So back in the ruck. At the back, Witts got a little touch onto it. Sloan almost threw that away. Now Saligo trying to tackle here, so is Dawson. Well done there from Atkins, but then Sloan thumps it forward, back to Atkins. He got that knocked away from him. Dawson gets out the handball to Murphy. Back to Dawson. They have a bit of a chance here, the Crows. Breaks around on the left. They didn't have an option. And then plucked it out of the air there, Witts. Kicks it away, but he's turned it over. Miller just wasn't clean with that mark. Eventually got the handball back to Smith. He puts it back on the boot and drives it forward to a 2-on-2. Well done there from Jeffrey from behind. Player's gone down here. It's Darcy McPherson who'll get the free kick. Tries hard. He's always playing for his... He's definitely a team player. He's not going to be like a showy player, not trying to, get on the highlight reel or anything. He's just trying to play his role. And I mean, when he's such a good player, he gets so many good touches, pretty good user of the ball as well, which I think is very underrated for a lot of midfielders nowadays. So Whitson O'Brien go at it, goes out the back. Murphy just gives out the handball to Humphrey. He gets the kick away. Went about 20 metres and Rankin cuts it off. So Isaac Rankin been pretty quiet tonight. Ben Long's held him well. He drives it long though. Isaac Rankin to a huge pack of players. Collins thumps it away. Couldn't gather it there was Murphy. Anderson. Good fight there from Murphy. Gives it to Dawson. He drives it forward. Collins in a one-on-one. They both try to spoil it. Now Fogarty picks it up. Nearly breaks past the tackle. Keys puts it on the boot. It trails towards goal. It's home. Great goal from Ben Keys late in the third term. God, the Darwin faithful are in for a great game again tonight. This will be going right down to the wire. Great finish from Ben Keys. He's been really good tonight. One of the Crows' best. And Keys only just got it there, but it's enough to be a goal. Currently, the Cats lead by 11 points over the Bulldogs. 7 minutes into that fourth term. Crows 10-point lead to the Suns. Back in the ruck. O'Brien thumps it forward. Player to get there first will be Anderson, but great fight from Keys. Thumped it off the ground, then gathered it again. Kicks it forward. Ill-directed. Coming through there was... Oh, a great tackle there from behind on Powell. Was Rochelle. He gets pinned for holding it there, Powell. Rochelle plays on. A chance for a late one here for the Crows. He goes in short. Great find. Finds Fogarty. And with 30 seconds to go, he'll have this shot. Darcy Fogarty on the siren. So Darcy Fogarty, he's been pretty quiet since quarter time. He will keep this on the siren to get the Crows back to within a goal on 3/4 time. Fogarty comes in, kicks it dead straight. We're going to a massive last quarter. Great finish from Darcy Fogarty. 4 points the difference going into 3/4 time. At 3/4 time, the scores are 11-10-76 to the Suns. Lead it by 4 points to the Crows, 11-6-72. What a massive last quarter we're in for. Just bring up those statistics now, guys. Alright guys, so 3/4 time, leading ball winners on the ground is Ben Keys and Jordan Dawson with the 23 touches. Noah Anderson with the 22, leads all comers for the Gold Coast, and then Brody Smith and Rory Laird take out the top 5 with the 18, and then for the fantasy watchers out there, Dawson with the 97, Keys with the 94, Anderson with the 84, Rao with the 69, and Witts with the 65, round out the top 5. So, Cats still lead it by 11 points in that other game.
Thinking almost anything, Blue Breaks. Deodorant, protein balls, sports drinks.
What about a trophy for a 2003 singing contest?
Oh, what a shame. Thanks for your
So Bodie Hewlin still is the sub for the Gold Coast, yet to be activated. The Crows obviously had to use theirs earlier in the game.
It's 27 degrees in Darwin. There is unbearable humidity. Some players have ended up in hospital on a drip in Darwin. They've been so dehydrated after playing AFL games here. And these players are going to push their bodies to the limit in this final tight term. It was the Crows by 35 at one stage, the Suns by 21, and at the last change it's the Suns by 4 points. 11-10-76 to Adelaide, 11-6-72. There was one man for the Suns that turned this game on its head. Jared Healy and Ben Dixon. It was Matt Rowell.
Indeed it was. I mean, right from the very first set of appearance, it was Matthew Rowell who just lifted his work rate. And he needed to. He only had 4 possessions in the first quarter, but he was as hungry as a dog, was Matty Rowell in this third term. He just wanted to make a statement. And everybody came with them. It was like it was a different side. They were running on top of the ground. They weren't fumbling. They were hitting targets. But this bloke just kept coming and coming and coming. And eventually, Matty Mix had to do something. And he's tightened up the tag with Ben Keys. And Keys, well, he reversed it a little bit. Keys got involved and he got himself a couple of score involvements.
So players are starting to get back into position now. Matt Rowell is probably the biggest importance for both sides, really. If Ben Keys looks like he's going to hold on that tag, if Ben Keys can win that battle, I think the Crows will win. But if Matt Rowell can get on the top like he did in that quarter, I think the Gold Coast will win this game. Massive last quarter for both teams. Both teams fighting for that top 8 spot late in the season. At the moment, live ladder reads that the Crows would fall out of the 8 tonight if they were to lose this one. And if the Gold Coast win right now, they would be equal in the 8 right now as well. So big game for both teams. The Crows would in fact be in the 8 though if the Bulldogs were to win. So if the Bulldogs were to win. They're currently down. The Cats lead by 17 points currently in the other game, about 17 minutes into the last quarter. So big game, big moments. Last quarter has currently begun. Massive for both teams. He knocks it forward. McHenry dives in. Now Rowell, being brilliant, dives in, gets tackled there from Laird, gets dragged down, eventually gets out to Davies. Did well, and now Ainsworth kicks it on the boot and goes long. Out the back, someone falls over. I think it's Lukosius. Does well there. Hinge, though. Has heaps of space to work into. But he uses his booming left boot. Goes long to a one-on-one. Fogarty couldn't win it, but does well on the ground. Now Murphy soccers it forward. It's a one-on-one here. Rankin can gather. He's clean. Good option. Now Walker goes towards goal. He actually hooks it very nicely and finds Ben Keys in the pocket. Rochelli's calling for the handball, but Ben Key's going to go on his right boot. Snaps towards goal. Not an actual right footer. He misses. The Gold Coast working down the wing. Lukosius drops a pretty easy mark. Now McHenry fights, gives it back to Michaelani. Back to Dawson, and Dawson drives it back inside the forward 50. Up goes Fogarty, puts the fist into it. Well on there the Suns, Berry, dragged down there from Jones. Play onto the call. Murphy snaps towards goal, and the Crows have the first of the final quarter, and they get the lead back. Big goal for the Adelaide Crows. Got dominated in that third term by the Suns, but did catch back late to get it only to a 4-point game, and now they lead by 3 points. Big time goal there from Lockie Murphy. He's been good this year, and a big goal there against Darcy McPherson. But we're back in the middle now. Umpire throws it up. O'Brien wins it down. Keys can't gather it. Well done there from Humphrey, but gets taken high there from Keys. That'll be a free kick. So Humphrey gets the free kick in the middle of the ground here for the Suns. Now they go long. Long big pack of players. King in front. Can't win it down. Out the back is Levi Casbolt. The big guy kicks the Gold Coast back in front. Goal for goal here in TIO. Great win in the middle there from Humphrey. Got the free kick, immediately drived it long. And the Crows defenders all went up, but they left Casbolt at the back. He's been good tonight, Levi Casbolt. And they don't miss Isaac Rankin too much tonight with big Casbolt up there. Great finish. He loved it. Gave the one Cobra too. He's kicked 2 tonight, Casbolt. Kicked the first for the Suns early in the night. He's got one now. Back in the ruck, coming through his route. Tackled well there from Keys. He's been big. Humphrey just taps it forward a good 20 metres. Atkins tries to spin out of trouble. Handballs it forward. That was a good option. Berry tries to get off the ground. Well on there for Miller. Eventually Swallow sockers it off the ground. Gets a good 50 metres. It trickles towards the boundary line and Hinge fumbles it. So in the forward pocket here for the Suns. So back in the stoppage. Witt's probably won that one down. Rao spins, gets out the kick, gets out the handball to Lukosius. How do you leave this man alone? Jack Lukosius kicks to the goal. The Suns have got 2 in a row. Matt Rao so clean in that stoppage. No one had him. Such quality through that play there. Ben Keys had him at the time. He just broke through so clean. Gave it off to Lukosius. And when this guy has goals in sight, he barely misses. He's got 3 tonight, Jack Lukosius. And Matt Rao loved it. He celebrated harder than Lukosius did. So they lead by 9 now, the Suns. After the Crows took an early lead in this last term, they've kicked 2 quick ones. It's got quick goals at the moment. Thumps it down once again. Witts gets the tap down. Swallow just bounces off of Laird and thumps it forward. Coming through is Casbolt. Causes the contest. Holman on the ground. Gets the handball over the top. To who else than Jack Lukosius. Another goal to the Suns. Jack Lukosius is on fire. He loves this ground. He's kicked 9 goals at it in the past 2 weeks. What an easy as you like goal. I don't know what Hinge probably should have just made Holman kick the goal there. I don't like when defenders do that. It just makes it so much easier to just get the handball over the back. But Lukosius won't mind one bit. He's got 4. And the Suns are on fire. Once again, can they keep this momentum though? He's kicked 5. Oh, no, he hasn't kicked 5. He's kicked 4, hasn't he? Oh, no, he has kicked 5. I'm gonna fuck it. Don't worry about me. He's kicked 5 tonight. Back in the ruck, coming through. Free kick's been pulled out here. It will go to the Gold Coast. Free kick to Swallow. So Swallow plays on. He had a player coming across his body, but eventually kicks it forward. Huge pack of players. O'Brien thumps it away. McHenry just handballs it out of trouble, but really just handballs it into trouble. Berry just fumbled at the crucial stage. Caused the tackle on Dawson, looking for the free, didn't get it. Now Humphrey kicks it forward about 20 metres. Ainsworth just boots it off the ground and he goes on the full. So 17 minutes to go. There's heaps of time for the Crows, but they have to lift around the stoppages. Matt Rowell and his mates have just lifted a huge amount in the second half. Laird over the top to McHenry. He just thumps it forward. Bounces past Long. Wasn't good there. Gives it off to Fogarty. Now the Crows can go. Rankin takes 2 bounces. Takes 3. Big chance here for Isaac Rankin. Comes around. Kicks towards goal. He's hit the belly of the ball, Isaac Rankin. He's had a shocking night. Isaac Rankin has had a shocking night against his old side. He would have set himself for this night. He would have thought to be going big, but he's been well beaten, and a chance there to get his team right back into this one. Hit the belly of the ball. It was a shocking kick. So goes long here, Powell. Up goes Humphrey, eventually thump forward now. King gets there first. In fact, it's Lukosius. Now to Swallow. Swallow drives it forward to a one-on-one. Here is King. He does well. Holman on the ground. Always a good rover there. Gives it out wide to Ainsworth. Steadies. Sets himself. Ainsworth kicks it on the full. So the kick from the defensive pocket here for Jordan Butts. Been well beaten tonight by Lukosius. Goes long. Up goes Dawson. Couldn't bring it with him. Now Michaelani gets it to McHenry, and now Dawson out wide to Fogarty. They've got some space here, the Crows. Fogarty on the unnatural left boot. Goes long to a one-on-one. One on there from Collins. Spoils it out of bounds. 15-point lead to the Suns. After the Crows had a 35-point lead in the second term, the Gold Coast have clawed themselves in front. O'Brien wins it down to Sloan. Sloan jams on the boot, gets about 40, bounces inside the forward 50. Collins cuts it off though and bombs it right back to where it was. One-on-one McHenry did well to cause the contest. Laird on the ground, has to lift. Has some space, runs 20 metres and goes long into the pocket. Great mark from Fogarty. So Fogarty takes a great mark in the pocket. 15 points down. You wouldn't want any other player to have the ball in this situation. So Darcy Fogarty, he's kicked a couple tonight. A chance here to get another one for the Crows. Get him right back in it. Keep it under 10 points. Fogarty comes in. Kicks it dead straight. As you'd always expect, Darcy Fogarty kicks the goal. Great finish. So the Cats are actually going to win over the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. Currently lead by 23 points. Late in that one. They're going to take a huge win there. So back to 9 points. Heaps of time left in this one. Could be seeing a 100-100 game at the moment. Witts almost takes it out of the ruck. Coming through was Humphrey. And now Rao thumps it forward as he always does. Going through was King. Just got a little bounce off his knee. Then he gathers it. Gives it to Holman. Holman got a pretty poor handball coming through. Roses gets taken down by 2 Crows. And it'll be a ball up. On the 50-metre line right now. Witts wins it down. Coming through there was Chase Jones, and he got a high one against Anderson. So Chase Jones at halfback. Goes towards the commentary side wing to a 2-on-2. Well done there from Collins, taking the front spot. Takes the mark in front of Walker. So Collins now runs and kicks it long. Towards the boundary line, Lukosius did well in front. Now Roses tries to duck out of the tackle, gives it back to Lukosius. Breaks past one Lukosius, then smothered well by the Crows. Well done there from Sloan. Great tackle from Roses. He's gone. Oh, you're kidding. No, okay, sorry. Kelly Underwood's an idiot. What a fucking idiot. That was obviously holding the ball. That's why I was so shocked when she said, oh, Rory gets a free kick. Fucking hell. So Roses will take the free kick. Hasn't had too many opportunities tonight to kick goals, but he's been very good with his defensive pressure. So now Roses. Oh, he gets it smothered on the mark. But it actually may work out here. Long picks it up, gives it off to Humphrey. Wasn't the best handball. Tries to spin out of trouble there, Humphrey. Dragged down there from Keys. Play on. Holman picks it up. Snaps towards goal. Nick Holman. He's faded late. Goes through for a behind. Heaps of time left in this one. Still 13 minutes. Mitch Hinge takes the kick in. Goes long towards the wing. Huge pack of players. Up goes Dawson from 3 deep. Doesn't do much with it. Phil Thorpe gives it to Rankin. Kicks it out wide. Good kick. Finds Murphy, who eventually gathers it. They go the Crows. Fogarty has a couple of opportunities in the forward line. He decides to go the longest option. It goes right out the back. Misses Pedler and Walker and goes out of bounds. So forward pocket here for the Crows. Just under 13 minutes to go. Walker and Witts. Walker left the ball to hit the ground. Rao gets his head stuck in there. 2 Crows spring him down. It'll be a ball up. Knocking it down there was Walker. Powell tries to just take it out of bounds. He'll take it out pretty easily. Rankin always just putting a little body onto one of the Gold Coast players. Haven't really put too much pushing around on Rankin tonight, which I think it's been a little bit of the norm when the old team or something goes up against their new counterparts. They just decide to leave them alone. And maybe it's worked to an extent because Rankin hasn't done much tonight. Witts coming through, knocks it down to Rao. Rao gets the handball away. Good work there from Michael Annie. Spins out of trouble, handballs it out wide to Scholl. Scholl gets the smothered kick. And now gathers it here. Atkins immediately jams on the boot. And here go the Suns. Roses takes a bounce. Has a couple of options. Goes out wide instead. That was probably a good idea. Lukosius takes the mark. Just waiting for his troops to get up forward. So he just kicks it in short to Anderson. Anderson has an option over the top. He gives it to Humphrey. Humphrey's got Fiorini in the pocket. But he gives away 50! Chase Jones has given away 50 metres, which makes this goal a certainty. I have to look at that again. I don't know if that was 50 metres, but we'll have to look at that. Humphrey will get a certain goal here from the top of the goal square. Bailey Humphrey kicked the winner against the Bulldogs last week. And he comes in now and kicks a big goal for the Suns. All right, so here it is. I want to see this again. So he takes it on. So he marks it. Oh, I don't know about that. That's a huge call. That is a huge call. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he snuck over maybe a half a metre. I don't know. Nonetheless, the Gold Coast get the goal and they take a 16-point lead. Back in the middle. Casbolt knocks it down, coming through his Sloan, but then Rory Laird thumps it forward. Great mark there from Long. Umpire doesn't pay it though. Long thumps it forward to a one-on-one. Roses gets the front spot, leaves it out the back. Good pressure though. Scholl jumps on top of it and he'll get a high one. No, he didn't. They balled that up so quickly. Holy shit. So just outside the forward 50 here for the Suns. Knocks it down, Casbolt. Swallow will get this one here. Does well, then falls over. Taps it forward, though, to try and get a Gold Coast player onto it. Roses and Rain can run at it. Play on to the call. Fiorini drives it inside the forward 50. Miller couldn't gather it. Well done there from Davies. Roses just left it behind. Scholl and Roses fight for it. Holman gets the ball. Gives out the handball to Fiorini. Big goal here for the Suns coming up. No, Fiorini misses to the left-hand side. So Tom Berry has been subbed out. Brody Euland has came into the game. So goes up. Fogarty couldn't gather it. Comes out the back here for the Suns. Ballard just jams it on the boot. Thumps it 50. Thumps it inside 50, in fact. Ainsworth, if he keeps his feet, he's away. Couldn't, and it rolls out of bounds. Suns currently leaded by 17 points. Still over 10 minutes to play, so there's heaps of time. Inside the Gold Coast, forward 50 though now. O'Brien wins it down, coming through as Anderson. Eventually got out the handball, and as far as Jones, who just thumps it out of the defensive 50. Ballard went well and well under Fogarty. Fought hard, and then it goes out of bounds. So umpire throws it in once again. O'Brien wins it down to Sloan, couldn't gather it. Rao always put his head over it. Looks like a free kick's being picked out here. It will go to Ben Long, it seems. No, Rory Atkins will get the free kick here for the Suns. Atkins calling for players to centre up a little bit. He wants to drive it long, Atkins. Gets a lot of space to work into and drives it into the forward pocket. That's where all his tools go. King couldn't gather it. On the ground is Holman. Taps it away. Miller tried to soccer it away, but eventually rolls out to Smith. Casbolt just dances around everyone. Poetry in slow motion. And now Atkins sets it up the top of the goal square. Lukosius picks it up. Has time. Roses. If they get a free man here, they're open. Roses dribbles it towards goal. And Saligo will take it through for a point. Time left. There's 9 minutes, 47 seconds. Heaps of time left. So now the Suns have the football. Noah Anderson drives it towards goal. An absolute floater goes through for another behind for the Suns. One more goal may kill this game off. So 9.5 minutes to go. Heaps of time left. Brodie Smith takes the kick in here for the Crows. Goes long towards the commentary side. One-on-one here. Ballard from way back. Tries to fist it forward. Couldn't get much onto it. Ballard grabs his head here. May got a free kick out of it. He does. Ballard kicks it in short. Finds Atkins. It's about 88. 2 kicks away from goal here. The Suns. Atkins has the football. Former Crow. Would love a win tonight. Drives it long towards the top of the goal square. O'Brien centered there. Up goes Casbolt. Couldn't win it. On the ground is Davies and King. His tackle pressure's been brilliant tonight, Ben King. it'll be a ball. Oh, he's been pinned! Holy shit! That was real quick. I mean, maybe he had an opportunity. No, Murray? I mean, he did duck past one tackle, but immediately got tackled after that. That's harsh. Jeez. I mean, maybe I think it's there, but Jesus Christ. Ben King comes in. Not much angle to speak of. Kicks the goal, Ben King, and now it makes it really tough for the Crows. So Ben King now has 3 goals. Suns lead it by 25 points. They're going to have to kick 5 goals, the Adelaide Crows, to win this game. Maybe even 6 at this point. There's still 8 minutes to go. There's still heaps of time left. But that is a big decision late in this game. Knocks it down there. Witt's coming through nicely with Pedley. We'll get a free kick for his trouble here. Gives out the handball immediately to Dawson. And now Dawson drives it forward here for the Crows. Long. Up goes Phil Thorpe. Couldn't bring it with him. Jeffrey just jumps out of there. Gives out the handball to Powell. Powell handballs it towards a Crows player to get it out of bounds, and that'll do. Surely the Suns are home. There's still 8 minutes. There's a lot of time. On the ground here, Rao taps it forward to Collins. Collins can't gather it though. Laird underground has been really quiet in the second half. Almost sits on it, gets out to Swallow, who drives it long towards the wing. First one there is Murray. Handballs it back to Jones. They're working backwards here, the Crows, to Brody Smith, who tries to switch it. He finds McHenry in the middle of the ground. So McHenry goes in short and he finds Murray. Murray plays on immediately now. The Crows need a go. He drives it back inside the forward 50. Up goes Fogarty, couldn't win it. Now Powell on the ground, gets out the handball to Anderson, just jams it on the boot towards the boundary line. He could be in trouble here. Anderson, Holman grabbed it just in time. Gold Coast just have to hold it for a bit here. If they can take a minute or 2 off the clock, it'll kill this game. The Suns have been big in this second half, though. You can't give them any. You can't discount their effort. Witts knocks it forward, hits the legs of Shoal, eventually gathers it, kicks it forward. Pedler dives, can't mark it though. Now to Smith. Smith just sockers it off the ground, gets 30 metres and gets it inside the forward 50. McHenry was clean, but then gets dragged down by Long. Holding the football, great pressure from the Suns. So Long goes out wide. He finds Casbolt. Still 6.5 minutes to go. But the Crows, if they want to win this game, they're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to get some goals now. Casbolt plays on and goes long to 2-on-2 here. Whitson O'Brien is one of those two. Can't bring it in. Smith underground to Shoal, and Shoal just kicks it long on the bounce. Can't gather it there. Was Murray. Looks like he's moved forward now. It'll be a ball in. So back in the ruck. O'Brien wins it down to McHenry. Just couldn't gather it there cleanly. On the ground here is Atkins. Just taps it forward, trying to... Oh, under the legs there against McHenry, could be. Umpires paid it. So Freaky gets McHenry to Swallow. So Swallow goes long. Goes to a 2-on-2. Witts is there. Can't get his hands up. Casbolt takes the mark, though. Great mark from Levi Casbolt. He's been good tonight. He plays on, goes long to a 2-on-2. Up goes King. Can't bring it down, though. He trickles out the back and goes through for a point. Straight down the middle here for the Crows. Walker takes the mark, plays on. He plays on almost to his detriment. Eventually gets around Collins, drives it inside the forward 50. The kick was poor though, and Powell cuts it off. It's going to go into 5 minutes in this moment, and that could almost call the end for the Crows. They need 5 goals in about 5 minutes. Powell drives it long down the wing. Gets in front there, Dawson didn't mark it, but playing onto the call, puts it on the boot. Absolute floater towards forward 50. Great mark from Long. He's been massive tonight. Goes out wide, good kick. He finds Farah. Good option here. He's going to kick it out to Anderson out wide. Just take some time off the clock. Good maturity here from the Suns. Anderson plays on, goes long towards the pocket, towards the boundary line, and Casbolt's happy to see it out. Without Touk Miller, this has been massive from the Gold Coast the past few weeks. On the boundary line, actually, at the moment. Back in the ruck, Witts wins it down. Coming through is Anderson, picks it up with the one hand. Dragged down well there from Dawson. Play onto the call, Holman. Eventually picks it up, Swallow. Kicks towards the top of the goal square. King can't get there. Humphrey up the back. Lukosius. If they get up here, Lukosius could get 6. He looks around. He tries to kick to the top of the goal square. Great smother from Michael Lanny, and it goes through for a point. Long kick to a one-on-one. Well done there from Atkins to get a contest out. Fiorini handles it at the back to Powell. He drives it long to a 2-on-2. Lukosius does well with the body. Takes the mark. He's 2 kicks away from goal here, Jack Lukosius. He won't be able to get his 6th from here. He calls for a player to lead into the pocket. Low ball inside the forward 50. Played for the free there was Casbolt. Gets under it there nicely was Holman. Humphrey fighting hard. Socket away here for the Crows. Outside forward defensive 50. Great work there from Fogarty. He kicks it out wide. This is probably the last chance for the Crows. He gets onto it eventually here, McHenry. It trickles towards the boundary line. Eventually gets there. Got an option in short inside. Great kick. Finds Ben Keys. 3 minutes to go. Ben Keys got to go back and kick this one. Gives that the handball immediately. Gives it to Darcy Fogarty. From 50 metres out. Drives towards goal. He's missed. That would be the game there. This is a massive come-from-behind win. Good call there at the O-Show. The Gold Coast started this game really badly. You thought the Crows would have just run away with a massive win tonight. But in the second half, they've just shown a new lease on life, the Gold Coast. And give them a real chance in the second half of the season, because they've got the bye next week, to really push for their first final series. Jeffrey thumps it long. It trickles out the back here. King taps it to himself twice. Tackled without it there against Sloan. He'll get the free kick here, Ben King. So Ben King almost gets tackled by Sloan, eventually gets the kick away, drives it long to the top of the goal square, out the back is Humphrey, almost took the mark. Now Jones, out to Miller, and now the Crows can go. Soligo goes in short to Laird. He's been pretty quiet in the second half, Laird, where they really needed him, he really hasn't stood up. The Crows really have only had Dawson stand up in this game in the second half. It's been pretty poor from the Crows, I'm not going to lie. Butts goes in short to Sloan. He gives it off to Smith and kicks it inside the forward 50 to a leading Fogarty. And he'll get a free kick. In fact, it's Rochelle who gets the free kick. So Josh Rochelle now. 2 minutes to go in this one. The Gold Coast Suns will win and will be equal to the teams inside the 8. Just percentage outside. Rochelle comes in, kicks towards goal, leaves it out to the right-hand side, and that's another behind for the Crows. Powell goes in short. And he finds Collins. By the way, guys, it's full time in the other games. Cats won by 22 points over the Bulldogs. So now Miller has the football at halfback, goes back to Butts. He goes in short. And he finds Murray. In fact, it's him. Oh, no, it is Murray. I was right. It's McHenry. Short to Sloan in the middle of the ground. He plays on. Goes out wide to Dawson. Sorry, I got to go to the bathroom. That's why I'm sitting like this. Dawson goes inside the forward 50. Pedler. May have got a free kick here. He does. All right, I'm going to go to the toilet. Tell me if he kicks it. And he kicked... I don't think he scored, did he? Oh, shit. No, I don't think he kicked the score. No, he didn't score. Alright, guys, so great win from the Gold Coast Suns in the end. Awesome stream, mate. Cheers. All good for that, Osho. Congrats on Collingwood winning this afternoon as well. So, final scores, guys. 16-16, 112 to the Suns. Beat the Crows 13-9, 87. A massive comeback in the second half from the Adelaide Crows. Massive win. The Crows currently sit 9th on the ladder. The Gold Coast are 11th. Both teams are equal 8th though. Just behind on percentage. But a massive win from the Gold Coast Suns. Really set themselves up to maybe push for their inaugural final series this year. Thanks for watching the stream today, guys. That's all from me, so I'll catch you all next time.